SFM HD2, New York. Bart Scott.
What the hell?
Chris Carlin.
Take a hike. We're good.
This is Bart and Carlin
Buckle your chin strap. We about to bang.
on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Whether or not people want to admit there's a problem, there's a problem. It's Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York YouTube page.
I love that cliffhanger right there. That can be about in New York right now.
Yeah.
That could be so many different directions.
Exactly. Exactly. You either want to admit there's a problem or you're ignoring it completely, and you're just going away from it. It is Bart and Carlin. It is ESPN New York. We are on the ESPN New York YouTube page where you should go. You should subscribe. You should like. You should do all that crap because it's important. Because we want you to be a part of the show, and we want you to be able to visually take this in as well as through an audio vessel. I think that's important, that you see exactly what I look like this morning. It's inspiring.
I see a lot of anxiety and frustration.
I wouldn't say anxiety. I meditated this morning. You know, we've got like a...
You got the Calm app?
I got the Calm app, and we have a wellness room. I don't know if you know this.
No.
Yeah, we have a wellness room over here. It's a closet.
Okay.
That's all. It's a closet with a chair. Somehow there's a mini fridge in there. I mean, maybe they were thinking of me, but they have there's a chair, a mini one of those little desks that's like, it just kind of slides in front of you. It's almost like a school desk.
Yeah, I just got to make sure that I pay attention who's going in there.
Yeah.
I got to make sure I keep an eye on them.
Well, all right, so I'm going in there every day now when I get here. And I'm doing the Calm app for 10, 12 minutes, trying to get my head right.
Are you listening to LeBron?
No, I'm not listening to LeBron. LeBron telling me to calm down. He does, but I don't need LeBron voicing it and being the guy to tell me to calm down.
When you look at the statistics, I'm greater than Michael Jordan.
Follow the breath.
In the era of free agency, I played the game better than Jeffrey.
J.J. Redick is a genius coach.
Listen, I know he worked here and all that stuff, but, like, one thing I didn't really like ever growing up was a know-it-all.
Oh, he's a complete know-it-all.
And he is the biggest know-it-all of all times. And the fact that all of a sudden, 2 years in, with LeBron, arguably two of the greatest players of all times, he can't find a way to win, and he's out of answers of how to motivate his team and do all this stuff, just makes me take some of that humble pie with you, bro.
Listen, I can't even with him. I can't even with him.
Bro, like how he used to talk, like he was like Max Kellerman on steroids.
By the way, and I know that I'm all over the place here, and I'm going to get to it in a second. Max Kellerman calling himself Muhammad Kellerman a couple of weeks ago. Why would Stephen A. want to go 15 rounds with me? Max, get a freaking clue about what you are, bud. Well, I mean, a nice guy, but let's be honest. I mean, you have cashed in by just hooking some people in. You cashed in on a lot of money for a long time, and you are not Muhammad Kellerman. Why are the ratings better without you? God, get a clue.
Well, he said it's backed up by the fact that Marcellus Wiley backed him up. Marcellus Wiley, graduate of Columbia, was talking about the intelligence of Max Kellerman and how that
Max is a smart guy.
How it made Stephen A. uncomfortable, like he was a mathematician.
No, Max is a smart guy. I'm not saying he's not, but let's not turn yourself into the God's gift to debating when the numbers have been better without you. That's what they are.
Boombayeh.
There was one place Max got ratings ever. That was L.A. That was with Marcellus. And that was it.
Boombayeh.
He talked about getting ratings in New York, please.
Boombayeh.
Anyway. Muhammad Kellerman. Anyway, that aside, I don't even know what got me there, but here we are. I do want to get into the Giants, but I especially kind of want to lean into the Jets to begin today because I've had more and more thoughts over the last day or two when it comes to what the perception of the Jets is. And there's a lot more discussion. So Stephen A. made a comment on his show yesterday. I'm not sure whether it was on First Take or whether it was on his podcast, but basically it was, you could not get me to play for the Jets. And we heard the comments from Louis Riddick yesterday with Rick and Dave. We've heard other comments about that. And the perception problem that teams can have when they are in the league. You know, everybody needs a perception changer.
Yeah.
And the Jets have actually had it happen before. We've talked about Parcells and all that stuff and how it can happen.
That Tannenbaum.
I mean, Mike did a good job. Mike was hired by Parcells, right?
Yeah.
You know, and Rex.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But he was first because he had Eric Mangini, fired him. Rex, for 3-4 years, everybody wanted to come to the Jets after Hard Knocks.
And Rex was also, but Rex also then became kind of a parody of himself in some ways.
Correct.
When you have all the other stupid things that come into it. With Parcells, it was always they were just taking it seriously. They were taken seriously for the 3 years that he was the coach.
Yeah.
For sure. And the Jets, if they are worried about this kind of concern, when you see Louis Riddick say what he says about Dante Moore, when you talk about what the perception is about the Jets around the league, we can try to portray the Jets as something that they are not, a successful organization over the last 10 to 15 years when you haven't been to the playoffs. We can talk about all the things that you have now that are good, but perception never changes until you
a couple years of being successful. Like it doesn't,
and also until you have, or until you bring somebody in with the resume that, oh, I have to take him seriously.
Yeah, it doesn't change overnight. Like it's like anything else. Like you see it before other people see it. So if you want to be taken seriously, you're going to have to do some things back to back. Because even if you do it one time, they're like, even a blind squirrel finds a nut. It has to be consistency. It has to be proven over time. And this perception that the Jets is a bad place to play has been built up over time. When they erased it, it's because we won over time. But we had to win big. It had to be AFC championships. It had to be leading the league with Brett Favre. Then it was AFC championship. Oh, we got to take them seriously. Because it's never been about the personnel and the players, because the Jets have always said every team has good players.
And to your point, because you said this, and I've heard other players say it since, when you got here, you said, I don't know about the same old Jets. That wasn't me. I wasn't here. That's how players are going to feel. That's how coaches are going to feel when they haven't been here and they haven't seen it to understand.
But let me say this as well. When I came here, the Jets had won 9 games. There's no way in hell that Rex could have convinced me to come here if they had won 3. So let me say that.
Okay.
Like, I ain't going nowhere that won 3 games.
I mean, if we remember, it was somewhat of a surprise that they fired Mangini.
Right, because before Brett Favre tore his bicep or his pec, they were the hottest. They were 7-2. They were the hottest team in football.
Right.
They had brought over Alan Faneca, Chris Jenkins, Calvin Pace, and Damon Woody in one offseason. And it just turned overnight. And I can remember them beating the Tennessee. I remember, sitting at home, waiting for our game, Monday Night Football, and everybody was scared of the Tennessee Titans, and they beat the brakes off them. We was like, whoa. Like, I'm going to be honest. Before I came to play for the Jets, I had never seen the Jets play. I was in the league.
Yeah.
When I come home, there wasn't no Jets games on, and if Jets was on Monday Night Football, I wasn't watching. I had no clue.
So when you considered it, there was never a perception problem in your mind?
It was strictly about Rex.
Yeah, because you knew that Rex was going to set a tone.
The guy preceded whatever the perception was of the organization. Because I knew what he was going to do.
Right.
And I knew who he was bringing. And I didn't even go so far to say, oh, man, they got this young kid named Darrelle Reeves. Never knew who Darrelle Reeves was. I didn't never in my life before I got here had heard of Kerry Rhodes. I knew from that team, and we had played them. I knew Nick Mangold because we had played him a couple years before. I knew Tony Richardson was on the team. I think back in the day when we played him in Baltimore, I think Curtis Martin was still playing with them. So that had to be like Tony Richardson. Tony Richardson was here for 3 years, so that had to be like 2006.
Mm-hmm.
So I had no idea Chris Jenkins. I knew Vilma was on there and he had left. I didn't know who the hell was on the Jets.
Point was, though, you got here, and then whenever things went wrong or people brought it up to you, it was, I've never heard about that.
Yeah, like same old Jets. Well, how do you feel? I'm like, what's that?
That's not my team.
Yeah, I was like, what's that? Like, I had never, because I wasn't in the market.
Right, and so we've had several players since come in because, hey, that's not me. I wasn't here. That's not. But it's the same old Jets thing doesn't apply to me.
You don't pay attention. You don't pay attention unless you're in the division. Like I knew what they said about Cleveland. I knew what they said about Cincinnati.
Right.
I knew what they said about Pittsburgh. Unless you're in the division, you don't know what's being said about these teams. You just play them.
Well, but I would disagree now because there does seem to be a league-wide perception of what the Jets are.
I don't know why the Jets are like the punching bag of not just the division, of the entire NFL.
Well, let's be true.
Maybe it's because we have high-profile fans that wear their fandom and people don't like that, whether it used to be the guy from The Sopranos, whether it's Method Man or JB Smoove, or maybe it's that because we have celebrity fans that they kind of know that they're Jet fans, and people like making fun of them. Like people love to make fun of the Knicks when they were bad because they love to mess with Spike or Tracy Morgan. I don't get it. I don't get why Peyton Manning, why the Jets make, even on like the shows, maybe because the shows Get Up, First Take, all these other shows are based in New York. The Jets can be a punching bag, and it kind of sets the tone. You know when somebody getting picked on in a classroom and other people pick up on it, so they just kind of join in because they want to be cool? I feel like that's the Jets. The Giants have been equally as bad.
For the last 12 years, but they won 2 Super Bowls in between. That's the problem.
And they get none of that. Like
they don't, but the Jets have had this. Let's
the Raiders,
be honest, real quick.
Even the Raiders.
All right, there's a couple of teams real quick that I just want to throw at you. You tell me if they have a perception problem around the league. The Raiders would be the first one I'd throw to you. Raiders have a perception problem around the league?
I think so, but nobody's saying, hey, go back to school, man. I wouldn't want to play for the Raiders.
Tennessee Titans have a perception problem around the league?
I don't think so. I think people respect the Titans.
Cleveland?
I think people think Cleveland is like the old Raiders. Like they'll do something stupid. And I think they base that on the Deshaun Watson stuff. But, they've been to the playoffs.
Washington had a perception problem, and then they got rid of their owner because he was a jackass and was forced to sell the team. Detroit had a perception problem for a long time. I mean, you just said yesterday, they said to you, write your check, and you're like, I'm good. You know, and that's your hometown team. Now, part of it is you didn't want to be around those people as you were talking about.
But they lost 16. They lost 16 games. They once drafted 3 of the players in the same position. Like, and they got it right. They got their quarterback and still couldn't overcome it.
Did Carolina have a perception problem?
Jacksonville had a perception problem a couple years ago when the NFL football union, told players do not sign with the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is the players union that represent all the players in the league, and it's already 100 people or 60 people on the team. They saying, don't go there. Nobody. Like, what that mean to the people that's already there?
What about the Cardinals? Cardinals have a perception problem? Yeah.
We used to think they had super cheap ownership.
Mm-hmm.
But when they got the new stadium, that kind of changed. The Bidwell family?
Yeah.
They left, so they sold the team, right?
No, they're still there.
Oh, well.
Well, anyway, here's the point. There's 4 or 5 teams that have real perception problems.
Correct.
But they're fixable.
Yeah.
They're fixable. And that's what bothers me in it. So Jacksonville, let's just call it what it is. They happened to make the right hire. And when that guy told them, I'm not going to come unless you get rid of X, somebody who's been a part of the problem for a while, they decided to go ahead and do the things that are necessary to change what that perception is. Did they know it was going to happen like this quickly? No, you couldn't. But there are situations like that where you're fortunate, and there are situations where people become available who will immediately change the perception of what you're doing. And that's why we can talk about Aaron Glenn being a serious guy, but the problem is the only evidence we have so far is 3-14.
Yeah.
That's it. So,
and in an era, in a time where they did nothing well, it's nothing that you saw the last 5 games that gives you hope that it's turning around. That's the problem.
Right. You lose those by an average of 23 points.
Because they like to bring up the Lions a lot. And by the end of Dan Campbell's year, you start seeing.
I'm glad you brought this up.
Yeah. You start saying, oh, wow, look.
It's a lot different.
They're fighting for him. Look, they upset somebody.
Yep.
When you get outscored by the month of December by that many points, that's what happens.
So let's talk about Dan Campbell's first year, okay, as the head coach at Detroit. They went 3-13-1. Bart, in the first half of the year, they started 0-8.
Yeah.
So down the stretch of the season, they went 3-4-1 in that season, and they were upsetting people, and they weren't.
They're playing hard. They weren't easy out.
And they weren't getting their doors blown off either. Like, it was changing in that moment. So you can bring up that team, and you can say, well, maybe we can be like them. Okay, that's great. You saw early where some of that change started to happen. And that's why I would point to this. This doesn't have to do with whether or not Aaron Glenn's going to be a good coach. This has to do with, if you are so worried about what the perception is around the team and the idea that a rookie quarterback may not want to come play for you when you have the second overall pick, if you're all worried about these things and you feel like it needs to be changed, then you have to get drastic. And this is not about Aaron Glenn. This is about other people that are available, that you are just flat out better and established, and you know what they are, and you know the second they walk in the door, things are going to change. And that's Harbaugh. And frankly, that's Mike McCarthy. Whether or not you want to admit it, if you look at Mike McCarthy and just say, well, that guy's not inspiring, all you're looking at the fact is that he's overweight, he looks like me. I get it. I'm not inspiring. But I also, if I get the job done, I get the job done. That's all there is to it. Mike McCarthy has won games. If you bring somebody in who has had success and changes that perception, your problem starts to go away.
So back in the day, we used to have coaches that we just thought was stabilizers. Like, they may not get you over the hump, but they'll make you respectable. And it used to be John Fox, Denny Green, and what's the guy that was here? He passed away for the Giants when they had
Jim Fossil?
Yeah, Jim Fossil.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the guys that even 500 Fisher was used to be believed that if you get Jeff Fisher, he'll make you average. Jet fans will settle for average right now.
Guy I was talking to last week about Jeff Fisher. Guy was doing games with Rocky Boyman, played linebacker for the Titans.
500 Fisher.
Loved him.
That was his nickname. That's what players and coaches called him.
But they loved Fisher because they knew they weren't going to be awful, and they knew they'd have a chance. That's why. And listen, Jeff Fisher does not. I'm not saying that you would, fire everybody right now to go hire Jeff Fisher. Yeah. This is about these other guys who have established winning records.
Hall of Fame. Listen, I still believe that Mike Tomlin could add himself to the list if they get the doors blown off of them by the tech.
I don't think there's any question
if they get the doors blown off in front of the fans going to be like, man, Aaron Rodgers is gone, or we don't want Aaron Rodgers back because we're still going to get the doors blown off of us. Look how old we are. We need to start over fresh.
Well, that's what it's going to be.
Right.
If they decide to
Cam
do that.
Hayward, T.J. Watt's old as hell. Jalen Ramsey's old as hell. Like, the team is old.
They went all in this year.
Right.
And if they don't, if they get the doors blown off,
get close,
then it's blow the whole thing up and let's start over. Right. And they'd be right to do that. I 100% agree that could happen with Mike Tomlin. Absolutely agree. And it's franchise malpractice to not look at those things legitimately. So this is not about Aaron Glenn. He may turn into be a good coach. You can point to Detroit. You can point to Parcells' first year when he went 3-12-1.
Bill Belichick turned out to be a good coach in Cleveland. Bill Belichick was on his way to getting fired here.
Yeah, Bill Belichick going into his third year in New England
was on his way to get fired.
Was a little bit of a hot seat situation. They were nervous up there.
Yeah, way to go, Mo Lewis.
Way to deliver that hit on the sideline to take out Bledsoe. I heard a rough a line that I had not heard. Drew bled, so Tom didn't have to. That's
man, the kid had a congestive heart chest failure, man. He took a shot to the chest.
Point being, this is fixable. It's just how far are you willing to go to fix it? You shouldn't just be worried about the perception. If you're Woody Johnson right now, it's not looking at everybody around you and saying, how do you fix this? It's looking at yourself and saying, do I have an opportunity here to completely change the narrative if that's what I'm worried about? Because if the narrative is talked about too much, it becomes the reality. And if the reality around the league is that people don't want to play for the Jets, you have to do drastic things to fix that.
Haven't we seen this, though? Didn't we watch Kirk Cousins play the Jets? Didn't we watch Anthony Barr agree to sign with the Jets and then go back for less money?
Yeah.
This isn't something that just happened. This has been happening. And
didn't Kirk Cousins do it twice?
Yeah. And guess who they talking about maybe signing as a free agent?
Yeah. Now, and he's going to do it at the end of his career when it, right. When he doesn't really have other options.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's like LeBron finally coming to play for the Knicks. Like, really?
Exactly.
Really? No, thank you.
You blew him off twice.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it again.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah. So I guess I get frustrated with the Jets getting too concerned with
outside perception, but other people.
But it's not even the people working for the Jets; it's the owner.
I mean, you just got to eat
it's
it.
The owner.
The owner ain't came out and said nothing. You just got to eat it.
Yeah.
Listen, the fact that the Jets are even on a part of the national conversation, they should feel fortunate.
So Stephen A. made the comment about not wanting to play for the Jets, and I guess Garrett Wilson fired back about it. And in essence, had said to Stephen A., it's not true, blah, 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 blah. Well, first of all, the number one thing you did was feed into Stephen A.
Yeah, way to give him a whole segment.
Yeah, the guy with the microphone wins, in case you guys hadn't figured it out by now. And then secondly, at this point, I just don't understand why you wouldn't want to change how people view you.
You have to accept it.
When you're have to accept being viewed as a joke, or you have to accept that there's a problem and I got to fix it?
You have to accept it, and the only way you can fix it is by winning games. All this talk and all this stuff back and forth is wasted energy. Sometimes you just got to shut your mouth and go to work.
But is it only by winning games, or is it by making a change and bringing in somebody that has done it before?
But the thing is, the person that has done it before, why the hell do you want to be here? It's 7
That's
jobs.
What I'm saying.
So if we're telling you, if you're saying that players don't want to be here,
yeah,
why the hell would a coach with options want to be here?
My point is,
like Dante Moore don't have a chance if he comes out. Who picks him?
Well, the problem for Dante,
the leading candidates can pick wherever they want to go.
That's true, but he does at least have more of an option now than he did before. All right, well, if I go back for another year and I play and
we'll still be waiting.
Right, but I got
Unless
a chance.
Unless you're going to go for a medical year.
I got a chance that somebody else will suck next year, and they'll get the pick. And maybe I can go make $10 million in the meantime.
And we'll offer 3 first-round draft picks for that pick. And we'll be moving maybe 5 spots, 10 spots. 3 first-round picks never been given up before.
It worked for Peyton. I know. I'm not saying it's a perfect scenario. What I am saying is that's a nightmare situation there.
See, but that's what happens when you're tanking at the end on purpose. Because the lasting image.
Do you think you think they were tanking? I don't know that the Jets were tanking.
Yeah, they were tanking. Because they could have put Tyrod Taylor in and won 2 of them games.
Yeah. But, I mean,
they could have played
there's a difference between.
They could have played Justin Fields.
Okay.
And won 1 of those games.
There's tanking and there's getting embarrassed.
Bro.
But Brady Cook, you're tanking. Okay. I'll
feel
admit
me?
that. Yes.
You got a rookie quarterback.
But you would agree that the way it went down made it look worse.
Yeah. They wanted to ensure that they didn't have a giant situation. When you look at I want you to look up the starting defense, the people that started on defense the last 2 games. Just look at the starters.
Yeah, the secondary I didn't even recognize half of them. I didn't recognize half the names. I understand.
Like, come on, man. And then you're going to get your points from Brady Cook.
Mm-hmm. They did what they had to do to position themselves. They did.
But when you do that, and it could have been strategic, because we're saying the Giants, you dummy, you had the first overall pick. You could have got an extra first-round draft pick and maybe an extra number 2 for somebody trying to move up. And you blew it, but they thought, or maybe they weren't even trying to do it. Maybe the fact is that
the Giants weren't trying hard enough.
No, what I'm saying, this is what Kafka tried to leave you because he knew he wasn't coming back. He Lovie Smith the Giants. You know what I mean? Same thing. Lovie knew he wasn't coming back, so he did it to Houston. Like, yeah, you got this first round, this number 1 overall pick. Yeah, not today, buddy.
How long do you think Kafka's interview went yesterday?
It was like, come on, bro. We'll call you.
We're good. You want a sandwich? We'll order a sandwich for you. We're good. Listen, pat him on the back. Appreciate all the hard work.
We'll give you a letter of recommendation.
Here's a 2-for-1 at Arby's. We'll let you know.
Yeah. We'll give you a letter of recommendation.
Bart Carlin on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York app. So this is the issue. Just when it comes to the Jets, and you hear all of this perception, and it starts to become reality, doesn't something drastic have to be done at that point? 800-919-3776. The lines are open now at 800-919-3776. Also, your comments on YouTube will be taken. They will be processed. They will be filtered. And then they might make the air. That, I would at least assure you, they will be seen. So put them in there, and we will go through and pick out the ones that are worthy to put on the air. If you're not picked, does it mean you weren't worthy? Well, yeah. Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
In New Jersey, big backups. New Jersey Turnpike, southbound Western Spur, tractor trailer fire. 2 right lanes are closed south of exit 15W at Kearney down to 15E. Traffic is jammed south of the Meadowlands. That's going to cost you well over an hour to get through that jam up. Again, only 1 lane is open currently on the Turnpike southbound by 15W. Eastern Spur is much better. George Washington Bridge, Lincoln and Holland tunnels much improved. Only a 20-minute delay at the Holland tunnel all around. Lincoln and GW Bridge are okay. In the Bronx and Westchester at the line, the Hutch northbound side by Pelham Manor. It's a broken down bus by exit 5B in the right lane. I'm Bob Williams on 880 ESPN New York.
New York Presbyterian treats more heart patients than any other hospital in New York. From common to complex conditions, our cardiologists and heart surgeons are pioneers in advanced heart care, leading the way in minimally invasive treatments for faster recovery times. Find a doctor at nyp.org/heart. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. New York Presbyterian Hospital based on U.S. News and World Report 2025 to 2026 Cardiology, Heart, and Vascular Surgery Rankings.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever, meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets, so go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
That 365 is Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the weather first, before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No!
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Can't wait, can't wait, can't wait.
Dolphins just fired Mike McDaniel. That according to Adam Schefter. Stephen Ross met with McDaniel this week to discuss the season. After that meeting and reflection, Ross decided to move on, says it's independent of the John Harbaugh thing, that it possibly could be just separate from that, had nothing to do with who became available.
Okay. Let's dive deep into this.
All right, well, we've got Jason McCourty with us, so we can talk to him about it as well.
Jace. Jace, you there? Chocolate drop. Chocolate drop. Going once.
What's up?
Chocolate drop. What's up, baby?
What's happening, man?
Man, these streets are talking, man. It's shaking up, man. So listen, I want to explain the 6 degrees of separation, right? Because all things are connected in this league, and I wonder just how much these back channel conversations have been being had. Now, Harbaugh is not going to talk until next week to people about jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Ross owns the Miami Dolphins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Ross is a booster of what university?
Michigan.
University of Michigan is connected with what family?
Harbaugh. Listen.
Tell me, bro, I'm telling you, these backdoor deals, I'm telling you, man, connect the dots.
Okay. Well,
and guess what? Anthony Weaver is somebody that was on Harbaugh's staff, so now you get to keep the defensive coordinator because the head coach would like the defensive coordinator. Man, this thing bigger than Nino Brown.
Let's just start.
They're going to bring in Malik Willis, and it's going to be Lamar 2.0.
Can Harbaugh have an interview first? My goodness.
Bro, they call me Barstradamus for a reason, man. Come on, son.
What if the Giants snatch him up before he can make it to Miami?
No. You want to go real deep?
That's what you're supposed to be saying.
I know what I'm supposed to be saying because it's a New York-based show. But I'm just keeping it all the way Ville. You know what I'm saying? But check this out. Where Lamar said he wanted to play, where people think Lamar really want to play?
Are you saying Miami. Lamar's going with him to Miami?
That's the rumor.
No, bro, get me on first. Get me on Get Up right now. Get me on Get Up tomorrow. I'll put a hole. This thing bigger than Nino Brown, Miss Hawkins. I'm taking everybody down. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, Miss Hawkins.
If anything, him going to Miami, you would think would prevent Lamar from going to Miami.
No.
Well, there was a big article a few weeks ago about how there's like a disconnect between him and Lamar.
Don't believe that. Don't believe that.
Well, him and Munkin, maybe.
Right. I tell you what, Tyreek Hill, like, I'm okay. I'm good. Because remember, they train together.
Let's reset our situation here. Jason McCourty is with us. ESPN.
AKA Chocolate Drop.
ESPN NFL analyst. J-Mac, let's just begin with this. So the news literally came as you were coming on with us that Mike McDaniel just got fired. So what's your reaction? Because that's a job that we kind of thought for the last several weeks might not come open, that it was looking more and more like he might stay.
I'm not surprised. I was around Graziano this week. I was around Schrager this week. And both of those guys were saying, be careful because there might be some openings that happen after other guys were let go. So as soon as John Harbaugh was fired, you start to connect the dots and you start thinking for some of these organizations that held on to their head coaches but didn't announce for sure that they were coming back, hadn't said anything. Miami was that team. It was like, well, maybe they'll hold on to Mike McDaniel unless they see somebody that they think is an upgrade at the position available that they can bring in. So I think to what Bart is saying, a guy like Harbaugh gets fired. Well, now you're like, well, if we can land him, we feel as though he's a true upgrade to what our situation is here. And I think when you talk about those 6 degrees of separation, it goes even a little bit further as they're interviewing GMs. There's also Chad Alexander,
My
who
point.
they've interviewed, who they're going to want to bring in for an in-person interview, who was just with the Chargers with Jim Harbaugh, but Jim got him from the Baltimore Ravens where he was with John Harbaugh as well. Now, all of those things have to fit together, but I think it got to a point for the Miami Dolphins where they said, hey, we don't have a GM. We're trying to find that. And as you're trying to find a GM, you're also thinking about, all right, the guys that they're bringing in, are they saying, hey, I don't know for sure that I'd want to have a head coach already in place as those conversations are going. So I think that fluid situation where Stephen Ross was unsure when the season ends, these last probably few weeks where you're having those conversations, it became more clear that they possibly needed to move on from Mike McDaniel.
They trying to make it Ravens South. But I tell you what, you want some news? You want to know what you need? What you want to make it New York centric? Man, I would make Mike McDaniel assistant head coach with the Jets right now and my offensive coordinator. Right now. I'll make him the highest paid. I'll pay him what he was getting paid in Miami. You talk about Woody and spending money and still want to have support for Aaron Glenn? Man, Mike McDaniels, you handle this offense. Glenn, you handle this defense. Man, here's $8 million per year. And you can stay in my condo in Manhattan. You ain't even got to pay for rent.
I do. I love that for the New York Jets. Now, if I'm Mike McDaniel, I just became one of the hottest offensive coordinators on the market right now for what he was able to do with Miami when Tua was healthy, but then also when Tua wasn't healthy, figuring out a way to or wasn't playing well, figuring out a way to get that run game going. The Commanders, I think there are a lot of teams. The Buccaneers just fired Josh Grizzard, their offensive coordinator. So I think there'd be a lot of teams that they'd have to be bidding against, and not only from a money perspective, but if you are Mike McDaniel, you just went through it with Tua. Are you going to the Jets unsure of who your quarterback's going to be?
What you mean? We call it Dante Moore. Say, Dante Moore, we got an offensive genius for you, son. We got the offensive genius for you, and we got the picks and the money to get whoever you want. And
I like that.
And I tell the cheetah,
convince him.
And I tell the cheetah, who the Jets is what the Jet drop we used to have when they asked him when he was considering the Jets. He said, "Who the Jets?" I bet you he take it seriously now.
The cheetah ain't the cheetah anymore.
I don't listen. If the cheetah ain't the cheetah no more, he a puma. I still want a puma. I take an antelope. You crazy as hell.
The antelope's the one that's getting caught.
Jets fans don't even know what them animals are. They're like, if we ain't the cheetah, we don't want no puma.
But you see what I'm saying though? Because Mike McDaniel, hired as your assistant head coach / offensive coordinator, will give you the same respect on the offensive side of the ball with a great young offensive line and the ability with Mechie. You saw what he did. You saw what he did with just Waddle. You give him Mechie, Breece Hall, go get Isaiah Likely. You bring the cheetah in, or you draft the first round draft pick, or you go get Manoa with your second draft pick. What are we talking about, man? Offensively, the Jets
they gotta go get some receivers.
You feel me? But that's what I'm saying though. You got 2 first round draft picks, and you got the 33rd pick, which is basically a third first round draft pick. If you pair it with one of your number 2 with another number 4, you can move back into the 20s.
Yeah, there we go. A lot. Yeah, no doubt about it.
But that's how you get national respect back. The problem is we don't think the Jets will get respect because Anstrand, as good as he was, or we don't know how good he is. If you get Mike McDaniel as your assistant head coach / offensive coordinator, instant respect, every quarterback want to come here and be mentored by him. Bam, whoop, there it is.
Okay, this is where we started the show today, Jay. Jason McCourty with us as he joins us each and every Thursday at this time. The perception of teams around the league, of certain teams around the league, and when players are considering, coaches are considering whether or not they want to go to a specific organization. Is it something that can only get changed by actually winning, or is it something that you can make a drastic move when someone like John Harbaugh becomes available and bring in someone to instantly instill credibility, where people would change how they look at it immediately?
Yeah, 100% the latter part of that. You bring somebody in that right away gives you the name recognition and the respect of John Harbaugh. And I think not only for guys coming in, the guys that are there as well, not only in the locker room, but throughout the entire organization. I think for teams organizations where you haven't been able to figure out how to get on the right track, you bring in a John Harbaugh and you just back up. You allow him to do what he needs to do to build this thing the way he sees fit. That's going to be a winning organization for years to come. Because I think that's the issue. Sometimes you hire a head coach and you bring him in, and this guy might have been fantastic on X's and O's and figuring out how to win a single game from a week-to-week standpoint. But how you build out an entire organization and what it's supposed to look like from nutrition all the way down to the daily practice schedule, those are the things that a lot of people don't know until you go through it. John Harbaugh has now 18, 19 years of doing that and being able to adapt with the time. So he had Todd Monken, but before that he had Greg Roman. On the defensive side of the ball, he had Dean Pease, then Wink Martindale, then Mike McDonald, then Zach Orr. So being able to change and move with what you have in your locker room, from a Joe Flacco to a Lamar Jackson, you have a guy that as soon as he walks in, if I'm a free agent, I can call 15 different people that I've either had as a coach or as a teammate that has some type of familiarity with John Harbaugh that you can call and speak to what he's done.
How real is the perception problem for teams, specific teams, doesn't have to be the Jets, but specific teams, when players talk about whether or not they want to go there?
Oh, that's real. I'll give you an example. I remember I got cut from the Tennessee Titans in 2017, and it was 10 days before the draft. So then you're waiting around till after the draft, and then OTA start, and the Cleveland Browns had one of their drafted corners get hurt. And the Cleveland Browns called me, and they tell me to come in for a visit. So I'm in Cleveland. They make me an offer, a 2-year deal. I call my twin brother who's playing for the New England Patriots at the time, and I'm like, yo, Cleveland made me an offer. The only thing he said to me, if I was you, I wouldn't go to Cleveland. He ain't never been a part of the Cleveland Browns organization, knows nothing about the inner workings, but solely based off of perception, that was his only advice to me. I had no other offers, and his thing was don't go. And we ended up going 0-16 that year. And that's not me trying to continue to knock Cleveland, but it's just the reality of when you're a part of an organization and you're not winning, and from the outside looking in, you continue to what appears to be make the wrong decisions time after time, then yes, players talk about that. And then also the players leaving the organization. When you're talking about how chaotic it is and what you went through, those are bad representations. And now that's the only thing that other guys hear about that organization.
Yeah, like what is Sauce telling people in Indianapolis? Like Alec Pierce, that's a guy that the Jets should target to maybe try and bring in. What is Quinnen saying to Pickens? You know what I'm saying?
Great point. Great point. Those are going to be the first people they call when they become free agents. If their agent calls them and saying, hey, the Jets made an offer for blah. Now, don't get me wrong. Money talks. So there's a certain amount of money you can convince a guy to come sign up for the chaos. But when it comes down to you're trying to decide between two teams that you think will be good fits, sometimes those things, it makes a huge difference. It's why the NFLPA started doing the whole free agent surveys and all of those things of what's inside the building and all of that, because now guys can do it anonymously and be able to find out what a place is like. Because, Bart, you know, when you're a high target free agent, it opens up and you have 3 offers for a ton of money before you even get to have a conversation with a coach in the building or go visit the city that you're going to be living in potentially for the next 5 or 6 years.
Man, I know one thing. In the NFL, there's no such thing as coincidence. It is no way that Harb said he's not going to interview till next week, that you let go Mike McDaniel after how that team played hard down the stretch. It is no way in hell you make that move not knowing that you have an opportunity or a chance to bring in Harbaugh as your coach. If it wasn't some back channel, it's no way in hell.
But I also think it might have had some ties to their GM search. I think if you're sitting down and you're talking to multiple GMs and you're hearing from them that they don't want to work, the ones you like, that they don't want to work with Mike McDaniel, they want to start fresh. So I think a combination of all of those things. But no doubt about it, Bart, the better the pool is out there, the better you feel your chances of landing a good head coach, because we've seen teams. Look at the Raiders. They were all in on Ben Johnson last year to become their head coach. They didn't get him. They ended up going with Pete Carroll, which they probably felt was a safe pick. But now they're doing it all over again this year. So if you're going to end up in a bad situation, keep the guy you know and then go from there and see how it goes.
See, but a guy like Chad Alexander, to your point, the 6 degrees of separation started in Baltimore, was up here with the Jets for a while with Joe Douglas. Like, you can see either Joe Douglas or you can see Chad Alexander, being able to get a second opportunity, because some of these free agents that's out there, he drafted them. Breece Hall, free agent. But if you're Mike McDaniels, wouldn't you want to screw it to the team that just let you go? When you want to come up here and get that big cheese on the taco and pick your quarterback?
Not if I don't feel like it's a great situation. But you get to pick your quarterback. J-Mac, listen, man, we appreciate it as always. We'll talk to you next week. And we'll get into the games next week, I promise.
Sounds like a plan.
That's Jason McCourty, ESPN NFL analyst, joins us each and every week at this week. Here is Stephen Ross's statement on the move. After careful evaluation and extensive discussions with John Harbaugh since the season ended, I have made the decision that our organization is in need of comprehensive change. I informed Mike McDaniel this morning that he has been relieved of his duties as head coach. I love Mike. I want to thank him for his hard work, commitment, blah, 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 blah. Wish him the best moving forward. Here's the bigger issue, though. John Harbaugh ending up in the division now. That's another problem. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your knowledge to work on the events that matter to you. Prediction Markets isn't just sports. It's the Fed rate decision, your favorite award show, and so much more beyond the playing field. Trade events with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead.
Really?
That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's Second Chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Rich Eisen here. Hiring for your small business can feel like a full-time job, but LinkedIn Jobs AI Assistant takes the heavy lifting out of it. It filters applicants based on the criteria you set and suggests 25 great fit candidates daily so you can invite them to apply and keep things moving. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Eisen, then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI Assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI Assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope, it's what keeps you coming back. So you represent, with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Go get Mike McDaniels right now. Tell him, guess what? You want to be cool with the off-whites on the offside? Guess what they hit first, baby? They hit an NY first. We'll give you you get unlimited whatever you want at Flight Club.
Well, I mean, if you want to go get him, the only way to immediately go get him is to make him the head coach. That's not going to happen.
I don't think he's going to get a head coaching job anywhere.
Not right now. I wouldn't think so.
Because people know that he's smart as hell, but they don't know if he's a leader of men.
Right. That's a very fair question when it comes to him.
But
offensively, he's very smart. But again, like, if you're all these guys, and this is going to be one big game of musical chairs here the next couple weeks.
Talking about the run game with Breece Hall.
Bart, I know, but there's going to be other places that might be more desirable for him.
$10 million.
To be a coordinator?
I don't care.
That's not going to happen.
$7.5 million. No, look, we need to look up who's the highest paid assistant.
Who would you rather be the coordinator of? The Jets or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? If you're Mike McDaniel. I think Tampa.
The Jets.
How?
Because
you just told me you were extolling the virtues of those three great receivers yesterday.
Offensive line, Breece Hall. They don't have a running back out there.
Bucky Irving's pretty good.
Mike Evans, a year or two, he going to be gone. Godwin's coming off knee injury.
Listen, here's the point. The Jets are going to have a lot of competition for some of these guys.
Money talks. Coordinator's different.
Well, that's what it's going to have to be.
Coordinator's different. Coordinators come strictly to money and job security.
Yes.
Glenn just got hired, so he got at least 2 years probably, if you look at it, before he technically gets fired.
You think so?
I'm just saying. Most guys get at least 3 years.
Let's get a call or two in here because we haven't had a chance to yet. David and Elizabeth is up first today. David, what's up, bud? How are you?
What's going on, fellas? Yo, like Bart said, this thing's bigger than Nino Brown. And you know who it is? Kareem Akbar, the brother from the bank.
Yep.
That's who it is.
And who got the bank? We got the cheese in the bank though too, D.
Oh man, we got a lot of quesadilla for the taco. You heard? So look, fellas, this is what I want.
I had a quesadilla in the airport the other night. It was great.
Are you serious?
It was.
They put that on the toast on the little press.
It was no. They put it right on the grill.
No, they got that. They get
like
that,
I was over at Moe's.
They get that meat. They get that meat out the bag like from Purdue, and they put it on there, and then they put it inside of there.
What airport? I can't even remember what airport I was in. Houston. It was great. It hit the spot. Anyway, go ahead.
All right, so let's get straight into it. So look, the Stephen A. comment from yesterday. It's 50-50. A lot of things that he said were true, and it hurt. And some of the stuff he said, he was just talking crazy. And I'm going to be honest, Bart, I'm pretty sure if he was next to him, he probably would have said something to him because it's kind of a spit in the face. And, Chef, I think you'll agree with me on this. The man said he'd rather have food poisoning than to play for our organization. That's like a spit in the face to me, bro. Like,
yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Especially with all the weight that he lost. If he get food poisoning, he going to turn into a inside of himself.
Oh yeah, Skeletor for real. but yeah, man. Like I was saying, fellas. Like, look, I get it. Like he said some real factual things. That's like going to school with the girl that if you're taking a McDonald's, you know what's next. You feel me? And it hurts that it's a true statement. But at the same time, like I'm really offended about what he said because like if he starts the narrative, people run with it. Like, oh, yo, I don't want to go play over there. Oh, yo, it's toxic over there.
Yeah, potentially can hurt us. Potentially can hurt us in real time, real life. Because it starts the conversation. Exactly. And it's just real hurtful. Like, yo, shout out to G5 for sticking up with us. Yeah, some people might not like the comments he said, but at least he stood up for us, At least he stood up for his organization. Some guys, they just don't say nothing or they're just quiet about it. Like, oh, I'm not going to say nothing because, to be honest. Well, that's a form of leadership. That's a form of leadership because Garrett Wilson is the one person that Stephen A. can't attack as far as because he's a baller. You can say he got injured, but he can't attack that way, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if Justin Fields would have said something, he'd be like, man. It would have been tough to take. Correct.
In other words, you have to have the resume to be able to say something.
To speak up.
And all Garrett did, in essence, was extend the narrative in the story by going back at Stephen A. because Stephen A. now will use that and go on the air with it.
Yeah,
That's
but
fine.
somebody had to stand up.
I understand. That's a tough thing to hear. It's Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York YouTube page where you can leave your comments right in the chat. Get in there. Get involved. 800-919-3776. 800-919-ESPN. In moments, we talk to Mark Kestisher, who will have the call of Miami and Ole Miss tonight in that game is in Arizona, which is weird, by the way, that they should flip the spots. Miami and Ole Miss should be playing in Miami, and the other game should be out west. But whatever, you get the point.
Because if Miami wins, they go back home.
Yeah, I know. That's true. They do get that game at home, but it's not home. I mean, Miami never has a home field advantage anyway.
You don't think so?
No.
Man,
they can't
come on.
sell games out even when they're good.
Let me tell you something. Miami get there, people going to buy tickets just to see Michael Irvin.
Taking a belt to a jersey.
Belt to ass!
Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
ZipRecruiter. Ox Spine at New York Presbyterian is always in pursuit of a better way to heal the spine. We're getting more people moving again with minimally invasive, non-surgical, and surgical treatments with innovative solutions for every back and spine condition and your unique needs. Expert spine care is available now across New York City and Westchester. Find a doctor at nyp.org/oxspine. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever, meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets, so go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
Listen up, football fans. Ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
With Progressive Customer Service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last 2, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all of that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. Apply by February 11th and get your application fee waived. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes, along with more than 135 degrees and certificates in fields like business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. Gain the skills you need to achieve your career goals. Get your application fee waived through February 11th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station. Bart Scott.
What the hell?
Chris Carlin.
Take a hike. We're good.
This is Bart and Carlin.
Buckle your chin strap. We about to bang.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
God, there's so much going on today. Ton of football. We've got the first of the two National College Football Playoffs semifinals tonight. That is at the Fiesta Bowl. That is out in Arizona, right here on ESPN Radio. It's on 1050 in New York. Miami and Ole Miss in the Fiesta Bowl. Coverage beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern here on ESPN Radio. Mark Kestisher will have the call with Kelly Stauffer and with Ian Fitzsimmons. We had Fitz on yesterday. I think he just stopped talking now. So you're up, Kesty. How are you, bud?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you? As ironically, in about an hour, Fitzy has apparently bought a couple dozen donuts and is having the production meeting in his hotel room. So I hope he cleaned it up for us.
Yeah, that's about right. That sounds about right.
And I'm just going to take notes because you're right. He'll just be talking.
He hit us yesterday with the fact that Lane Kiffin has been calling Charlie Weiss Jr. during meeting times for Ole Miss, trying to get him out of these meetings just to tick him off.
Yeah, I read that. Fitz is really good every week. I mean, this is a 5-month journey for this crew, and nobody is more prepared and dialed in. You know Ian Fitzsimmons,
Yep.
and he furnishes us like every Thursday or Friday as we travel in with detailed notes from all the guys he knows across college and pro football. So I read that little note, and yeah, it seems to be on brand. And, you know, God bless Charlie Weiss Jr. because he, you know, he's trying to do two jobs. And he really wants to finish his old job first before he moves on to his next one. And those guys have been impressive. That was a great second half against Georgia. And I'm really looking forward to this game. This was not the Fiesta Bowl we all anticipated, right? Everybody thought Georgia, Ohio State, but both Miami and Ole Miss deserve to be here the way they played.
Let me tell you what, Al Davis got it right a long, long time ago. Lane Kiffin's an ass. And like the fact that he's trying to hurt the kids that he set in their living rooms that bled for him, that put it all on the line for him to try and get the coaching staff to come over because he's pouting because he couldn't coach them, because he couldn't, you know, have his cake and eat it too, that he doesn't want, you know, Ole Miss to have any good things. It's to me beyond, like, I don't know if you were going to LSU, if you would want to even go play for a guy like that you know to sell you out for anything if it benefits him.
Yeah, I think, Bart, everybody was right when they said, you know, it took so long for Lane Kiffin to rehab his image. And he had kind of perfected this new image in Oxford, Mississippi. And then you're like, he's not going to leave this team on the doorstep of a college football playoff, is he? And then he did. And then you're like, well, this team has no chance to survive now, right? And if anything, it has unified them. And that's what you're hearing from the coaches and, you know, some of the players who have spoken about it, is that it's been an incredibly unifying force within their locker room, which, Bart, you know, as a former player, you're looking for anything, right, to build that chip on your shoulder.
Exactly.
That was an easy one. That was an easy one for them. And the fact that they've done this, the fact that they slayed the Georgia Dragon that they lost to in that fourth quarter earlier this season in Athens, and now come on the road for a neutral site game. And you know college players aren't used to this when you start getting into the repetitive games. This is more pro model where you're 7 days out from the last game you've played, going back, short practice, traveling tickets, the whole thing. I mean, so what better unifier than to take all of that distraction material that sat out there and use it to your benefit? It's such a credit to those guys. And yeah, I mean, it's not a great look for Lane, certainly.
Listen, unfortunately, fortunately, you know, I think more tubes will be tuned into these games in the New York area than probably more other places in the country, simply because of how New York kind of controls the first and second round of the NFL draft this year. You know, who are some guys that we should be looking for or looking at that maybe, you know, aren't household names but can sneak into the first round and raise their stock up? Like you said, we didn't expect these teams to be here, but now that they're here, we have to look at the guys that got them here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think most people, I mean, certainly you guys are aware of Akeem Mesidor and Ruben Bay, and those are the obvious guys on the defensive front of Miami. But I'm even thinking for casual fans who may be listening right now, I mean, this Miami defense is so fierce, and it is led by those guys up front. I think they have 12 sacks. The team has 12 sacks in the first two CFP games. Those two on their own have combined for 27 pressures. And so, you know, that's where this game is going to be decided, with Trinidad Chambliss and their offense going a million miles an hour and getting rid of the ball so fast. I think I don't know if there's going to be early first-round ratings on like a Dejon Stribling, but he's really shown what he could do of late, and Trey Wallace, wide receiver for Ole Miss as well. The Miami offensive line is full of studs, where the left tackle is 6 feet 9 inches tall, and I think we all know about Francis Mauigoa if you're paying attention to Miami on the right side, his side as well. The interesting thing for me, and Trinidad Chambliss is going to come back for another year. There's no doubt. He's telling us that as well in coaches meetings that he needs a little more time. But just that story, if you're into the rags to riches, here's a guy that's leading Ferris State to a D2 national championship in McKinney, Texas, 1 year ago, and then he transfers to become a backup at Ole Miss and now has 8 300-yard passing games. And I think there may be, some draft grades on him depending on how this all finishes out. Even though he said he's coming back to Ole Miss next year, I mean, to me, that's probably the most interesting story of a guy whose parents were getting him ready to where am I going to work next year? Probably not in football. And now all of a sudden, maybe you're a first, second, third round draft choice in the National Football League.
Mark Kestisher will have the call tonight with Kelly Stauffer and Ian Fitzsimmons on ESPN Radio. Miami and Ole Miss in the Fiesta Bowl. Is Carson Beck, does he have all of these bad interceptions and such behind him? Is he a different player than he was, not just at Georgia, but even earlier this year?
Yeah, I mean, ever since the Louisville game with the 4 picks, that was the first loss. He had 2 more at SMU. That was their last loss in overtime. That was November 1st. He's only had 1 since. He's a guy that seems to be in total control right now, playing his best football. He's a great processor, pre and post snap, and I think that's going to be the rub, today about what Pete Golding's defense likes to do and change that picture on him. So they know they need to confuse him. They know they need to force him into mistakes. Beck was like a man possessed in the second half. He's even running the football and throwing his head forward, trying to get first downs, which he's not a guy who's going to use his legs. So to me, does he fall back into that and make crucial mistakes? Then that's where this great Ole Miss story takes us, to a national championship game. But right now, he seems like a guy who has learned, seems like a guy whose skin has toughened and calloused, as his coach told us, over, Georgia and the injury and all the interceptions in the middle of the season that nearly cost Miami the shot to play in the CFP. But he looks like a guy, Chris, who is on top of his game right now with an unbelievable opportunity tonight.
Like I learned early in this business. I've been in this business like 13 years now. And I learned early on that you don't root for people, you root for stories. And when you look at the Final Four, Oregon is maybe a team we expected to be here, but Indiana, Ole Miss, Miami, the redemption story, especially after losing those games. What's the best story if they win the championship?
Yeah, I'm with you, Bart. This is the most NCAA tournament Final Four. It's never going to be like that where you really get the underdog. I mean, we had 2 group of 5s in here. That would have been, the story. But to not have Ohio State, to not have Georgia, to not have Alabama, to have all those teams you've talked about, in a year where it felt like, it was really anybody's championship. Like, does anybody still really believe? Even the Indiana fans I saw at the Rose Bowl last week before the game were like, I can't believe we're here. I mean, we're like the losingest football team in the history of college football, and we're here. So I think to default, I would say, well, Indiana hasn't lost a game, and they have a quarterback who transferred from Cal, who became the Heisman winner, and Kurt Cignetti, we're still Googling him to see if it's true. Like, that would be the story. But I don't know if you could top Ole Miss with their coach deserting them and their quarterback from Division II, who took over in week 3, leading them to a championship. That's got to be the story of the year if Ole Miss figures out a way to do this.
Do you guys have a scouting report and a dedicated camera just to follow Michael Irvin?
It's on radio, so it should be at least a sideline reporter, or at least put somebody else there besides Fitzy.
He's got his belt off in warm-ups. He's saying belt the ass in warm-up.
There's this theory I've had for the 27 years I've worked at ESPN Radio. We should have a channel called ESPN Radio Blue, and that's where you hear, us talking in the breaks with foul language. That would be the only network we could put Michael Irvin on an audio-only channel on because he's unbelievable. I saw him a few weeks ago when we had the first-round game at Texas A&M, and then watching him on TV last week while we were preparing for the Rose Bowl and to see his antics down in the field. It's awesome to see a guy who just lives and breathes and bleeds green and orange. And you talk about guys that are going to be on the sidelines today. Him, Ray Lewis is here. Edgerrin James
Andre
is here.
Davis.
They're all coming out.
Hey, suit up. Hey, suit up. Do they got any eligibility left?
I know that. Well, you know what? The way things are going now, if you can go from the NBA G League to NCAA football, why not? Try it.
Kesty, last one for me, and it's on the game tomorrow night. You had to choose between those two quarterbacks if you're at the top of the draft. Let's just say you had the number 2 pick overall, and you were the Jets. Which of those two quarterbacks do you think has the higher ceiling in the NFL?
Well, I have to say, we've had Oregon a bunch this year, and Kelly Stauffer, my analyst for the last 4 years, was the first-round pick in the NFL. So he's Mr. Quarterback. We go down on the field. That's all we do is we stand behind both quarterbacks pregame and watch. And he has been in love with Dante Moore for 2 years, maybe longer, because we had him UCLA at Utah a few years ago. I mean, Mendoza, we had them last week, so we were deep into the tape. And he seemingly does everything right. That's a tough one. It's almost better to be number 2. I remember PJ Carlissimo telling me a story when Greg Odom was the number 1 pick in the draft, and they were picking number 2. And so, we took Kevin Durant. We knew sometimes it's better, to not have the choice
Michael
and have
Jordan.
number 2 come to you. Yeah, exactly. Michael Jordan at number 3. Let it come to you.
Daniels.
The biggest fear is that, and we always see this at the top of the draft with an outstanding college quarterback, pro potential quarterback is, sometimes you get in that system where you are going to get the snot beat out of you for a year or two, and you hope that doesn't derail your career. But just looking at guys, not with teams they go to, it's hard to beat the throwing motion of Dante Moore and his ability, dual threat-wise. But Mendoza is such a smart cat and is way more athletic than everyone gives him credit for. So I don't really have a good answer for you, but I would be very happy with Dante Moore if he was my number 2.
Kesty, have a great call tonight. He'll be on ESPN Radio with Kelly Stauffer and Ian Fitzsimmons. Miami, Ole Miss, and the Fiesta Bowl. Our coverage begins 7 o'clock on 1050. Appreciate it, brother. Thanks.
Great talking to you guys.
That's Mark Kestisher. Does an amazing job on college football and, of course, on the NBA on ESPN Radio. It's Bart Carlin on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN New York YouTube page where you should be watching the show. I'm going to bring up some comments here. In case you're just joining us and you haven't heard, Mike McDaniel got fired by the Dolphins just a little while ago, within the last hour. Jeff Darlington.
That's his hood.
You think that this is not all tied together?
Yeah, that's his hood. Yep.
Jeff Darlington, ESPN NFL reporter, says the following. Some context into the Dolphins' decision to fire Mike McDaniel per multiple people involved in the decision. Stephen Ross met with McDaniel Tuesday. Outcome left Ross very conflicted. Likes Mike, loves his intelligence, blah, blah, blah. But Tuesday's meeting resulted in some hard thoughts. Ross didn't feel like the results were there, and despite the end-of-the-year production, did not want to move forward status quo. I'm told the Dolphins have not yet been in touch with John Harbaugh or anybody in his camp, and people close to the decision are adamant this decision to move away from McDaniel is independent of Harbaugh's availability. I'm told the Dolphins will conduct a head coaching search after a GM is in place, which should be in the next few days. It obviously could lead to discussions on Harbaugh. And yes, one of the GM candidates, Chad Alexander, is very close to Harbaugh. But people close to the situation tell me the decision to fire Mike would have been made either way. Here's the other part. The Dolphins expect to make a decision on their new GM by tomorrow. They met with Champ Kelly, who's their interim GM. Where's the other part of this?
Never get the job.
No, he's not getting the job. Let's see here. By tomorrow, other 3 candidates, Alexander, Josh Williams, John Eric Sullivan, flew into South Florida last night for in-person interviews that are taking place today. You're doing 3 GM interviews today in person?
But you're only doing 3. And you already got a favorite when you come. Chad, the one that got the.
This is a done deal.
Chad, the one that got the name recognition.
This is a done deal.
Could be moving to Florida.
Just give me a heads up when you are coaching linebackers.
I'm just playing.
Oh my God. I understand that the Dolphins will tell all of the reporters, and they will be adamant about it, that this had nothing to do with John Harbaugh becoming available. That's crap. That's crap. That's complete and utter crap. It's not that the reporters are covering for those guys. It's what they're being told. They're reporting what they're being told.
Right.
Okay?
So, yeah, of course. They just regurgitate it.
But no, it's not even regurgitating. It's just, hey, their sources are making sure.
Yeah, but they don't lie.
That this is
sources never lie.
When we talk about never. When we talk about narratives, the sources are getting their narrative out there. We're doing this completely independent of that. No, you're not. No, you're. This just makes me feel like, and I hope it's not the case.
Let's bring New York in.
Well, this is what we have to do for both of these teams.
Let's bring New York in. Like, is Miami now the biggest threat to the Giants?
It has to be, doesn't it?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, obviously they're not.
Because Atlanta is right there too, but
someplace got no state income tax. Florida.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Stephen Ross is going to pay, but when you have those ties to Michigan and all that stuff, if you're Stephen Ross, why wouldn't you be talking about doing this once that guy becomes available? This is why we say when you're the Giants.
And the Ravens still have to pay him for 3 more years. They still owe him $36 million, 11 per.
And this idea that somehow somebody else is going to get him cheaper because of that?
No, hell no.
Like that was Schrager was saying that with
no, this ain't.
Yes, there is.
This ain't a quarterback.
There is a mitigation part of it, but he's still going to get paid. And the Schrager was saying like the Cardinals are not going to be getting John Harbaugh. That's not even in the possibility of a discussion.
Unless he want to live close to his brother.
At least I don't think so.
Hell no.
I don't even think it's that. Like Jim said yesterday, God, I hope he goes to the NFC. Yeah, okay, Jim. I don't think Jim will have a problem either way. Point is, if you're Miami and you waited a few days, there's a reason why you waited.
Yeah.
And that was John Harbaugh. And there's a reason, by the way, why John Harbaugh basically got it out there. You know, I'm not going to be talking to anybody until next week.
See if this deal could be sealed up behind closed doors.
Let's see who else gets fired this weekend. Let's see who else is knocking on John Harbaugh's door. Because right now, he's got 7. There are 8 jobs open, and 7 of them want him. And maybe a couple that haven't even fired their coach yet want him.
Mike Tomlin, please let Mike Tomlin decide to walk away at that. I want the most interesting coaching search in recent modern-day history.
For the Giants, like, are you already sweating now about Harbaugh?
You like McCarthy?
Because remember, John, the other day,
Stefanski's sitting there eating steak. It ain't even digested yet. The other 72 hours for steak to digest.
Stefanski, that's fine. Go do whatever the hell you want. I'll buy you another steak. Kill some time. Go somewhere else. Stefanski, this idea that Stefanski is an answer for the Giants, like, miss me with that. 2 winning seasons in 6 years, and I get it. It's Cleveland, but the results are the results. And at some point, you're actually responsible for that. So I'm not getting, and 1 playoff win, that's not a whole lot better. We're talking about these other guys who have completely established cultures. What culture was established in Cleveland?
See, but it's tough because I would argue that Baltimore already had a culture.
That could be.
We taught him
but John kept it in there for 18 years.
Yeah, it's true.
Baltimore, you're probably, well, you certainly know better than me. There's no question about that.
He didn't come change nothing, or he just didn't let it fall.
Okay, but after 18 years of being there, he obviously knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying let's not call him a culture builder because Baltimore already had a culture. That culture would never change.
All right.
That culture was set by Art Modell and Ozzie Newsome.
But can I say this?
Mm-hmm.
It can fall apart on somebody's watch, and it didn't.
That's true.
It can. We've seen that plenty of times.
I mean, because it didn't fall under Brian Billick. Never wavered.
Yep.
never wavered under Harbaugh. But that doesn't mean, like, some places already have a culture and an expectation, and that's why the Giants used to have a culture and expectation, and they've lost it.
But you can lose it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Giants have lost
and he did not lose it. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York. Let's hit it. 800-919-3776. Giant fans, how concerned are you? And Jet fans, like, dude, the guy's about to go somewhere else in your division. I mean, think about the fact that
we get Mike McDaniel.
Okay, maybe. You got to hope that the music stops pretty quickly on these musical chairs.
$8 million.
All right, that's fine. And then Mike will be the head coach next year? Is that what he's coming for?
So.
Tristan in Staten Island is up first. Tristan, what's going on?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I think it's afternoon. It is. No,
whatever.
Good morning still. Sorry.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway, I think the biggest threat to the Giants and Harbaugh is what happens in Jacksonville on Sunday.
Buffalo?
Because if the Bills lose, they may move on from McDermott. And if you're Harbaugh, you go to Buffalo with Allen. And then you can bring McDaniels with you if you want to.
Your defense
as the OC.
Your defense stinks, though. But I got you.
No. They make plays when they have to make plays, Bart. They're not the Ravens defense that you played on, but they're they're a decent enough defense to get them wins. They got 11 wins, 12 wins.
That's because they control the ball 33 minutes on offense.
Well,
their offense is so great.
But,
so their best defense
you
is their
get
offense.
You get Mike McDaniels to control that run game.
So they're gonna get Mike McDaniels or are they going to get Harbaugh?
No. They can get Harbaugh as the head coach, and if McDaniels wants a job, he needs an OC.
Nah, I can't see that.
He would do that before he'd go to the Jets.
I mean, maybe, but I can't see him wanting to be underneath Harbaugh. I get what you're saying, but that just puts another great coach that the Giants will have to consider. I mean, I think Sean McDermott going out there is just as big as anybody else. He's not quite McCarthy, but he would definitely be the third best coach out there. I mean, he went to Buffalo where nobody wins and been able to dominate the division.
All of a sudden, if you're a coordinator that was hoping to get a head coaching job or one of the better head coaching jobs this year,
crazy.
It becomes a lot more difficult.
Yeah, your ass going to Arizona.
Pittsburgh and Buffalo both get rid of their coaches, or both Tomlin moves on and all that. I mean, you got to tell me that those two guys aren't going to get snapped up pretty quickly?
Yeah, of course. That'd be crazy work. Like you stuck to going to Arizona. You got to go to Arizona.
D in Queens is next. ESPN New York. D, what's going on, dude? How are you?
I'm all right. Listen, Bart, what you said about McDaniels, I've been saying for 2 weeks. I said him or the enemy because, the DC, he sucks, but we sitting here looking at Engstrom like he's this perfect dude. No. Like, he needs to be replaced, too, demoted. He don't need to be fired.
He's been quarterback coach.
He didn't do anything to distinguish himself at all this year. Nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you probably that was bothering me all year that everyone was coming for the DC but not the OC. I'm like, Justin Fields has never looked this bad. Period. Full stop. And plus your other quarterback is a mobile quarterback. You're running an offense that's more for a pocket passer. So just other stuff too with the offense that needs to be redone. One other thing. I love what Garrett Wilson said. Literally everything. But I hate. This is a critique I've had multiple times. When you guys in the media, it seems very coordinated. One person says one thing, then another, then another, then another. If Dante Moore doesn't want to come to the Jets for whatever reason, that's his business. The Jets can't sit there and run their franchise for some dude who's never played in the NFL.
I agree with that. Listen, first of all, here's the thing. If Dante Moore wants to do that, that's up to him. Good. Do whatever you want to do. The bigger issue, though, for the Jets
turned around the Bengals.
No, but
if he's that dude, why you can't turn around the Jets?
But here, I agree with that, too. Here's the other problem, though. The Jets, though, then do have to worry about what the perception is. It's not that they're turning their world around for that kid. It's, all right, well, wait a second. We've got a problem here, and now we have to try to fix it.
Yeah, but they got to get better. Everyone agrees the Jets got to get better. What I'm critiquing is the media. It seems sometimes you guys just,
Not
when
me.
you get it in your head,
we've been very clear. No, we've been very clear that Dante Moore has never said that he does not want to play for the Jets. There's never been a leak out of his camp.
Remember
that he doesn't want to play for the Jets.
Remember the criticism that Shador got by suggesting that he didn't want to go to Cleveland? Like, how how this wouldn't garner the same energy is beyond me.
Well, it hasn't come from him yet, though, or anybody in his camp. Like it's been stuff that McShay said. It's been stuff that Louis Riddick said when the guys asked him about it yesterday. So until I hear it, like it's sources say he doesn't want to play for the Jets, well, then those sources are obviously the people in his camp.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I'll start to get into that being a real issue. But whether or not he wants to, okay, if you don't want to, whatever, that's fine. I then have to look at myself here and figure out how I'm going to fix this. Not I have to move mountains to convince this kid to come play for me. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
It's Bart Carlin on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York YouTube page. Lines are open at 800-919-3776. Now that it might be starting to line up that Miami is going to be a big player for John Harbaugh, what does that mean for the Giants? How concerned are you for the Giants? 800-919-3776 on ESPN New York.
It's Wild Card Weekend and The Wiz has you covered. Tune into The Fine Line Saturday at 8 a.m. where The Wiz talks about all 6 football games, including Green Bay at Chicago and Buffalo at Jacksonville. And The Wiz gives his Super Bowl prediction. It's a must-tune-in Saturday at 8 a.m. Plus, The Wiz talks college basketball, NBA, hockey, soccer, and more. Follow The Wiz on Instagram at Joe Wiz Sports. It's the best bet in town. The Fine Line with The Wiz Saturday at 8 a.m. Be ready to win.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
I want John Harbaugh as coach of this team. He likes the Giants. He likes Dart. They like him. This needs to get done. And then you're going to get the people. His record in the postseason is barely above 500. He's only been to the Super Bowl one time, and he hasn't been to the Super Bowl in a decade. And get me to the point where every year, if I don't go to the Super Bowl, that's a disappointing season. Get me there.
DiPietro and Rothenberg, morning 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. To check if they're going for it on 4th down, before going to the concession stand.
Yeah, give me 3 hot dogs, 2 jumbo touchdown, baby! What?
Hey, buddy, you want cheese with those?
Yeah, checking first is smart.
No.
So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The wild card round is here, and FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the wild card round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. I am loving what I've seen from the Bears late in the season. I'm kind of feeling them. Take your shot on an upset, though, if that's for you, or build a parlay that fits the moment. Then apply your profit boost and go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs get rolling. So visit FanDuel, an official sports book partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued is not withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com for help with a gambling problem. Call 877-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
He's a fan. He's a fan. He's a fan. He's a da. Yeah, 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 yeah. Come on, Giants. Make the offer. Make him an offer he can't refuse.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York YouTube page, it is time for some audio files. Let us get to it.
The audio file.
That's right. We will start with Stephen A. on First Take today, responding to Garrett Wilson.
Did I stutter? The Jets are horrible. Now, before I get into my take, I wanted to make sure that I clarify certain things because I hear star wide receiver Mr. Garrett Wilson has something to say about it, brother. So rather than me go off, let me first show everybody what he said. Damn, you got to be a real sellout. Interesting choice of words. And above all, a square to be on ESPN. Be on ESPN nowadays. Used to love that show. Couple of things, my brother. If you check the news, First Take, record ratings, #1 show. Come April, we'll be #1 for 14 consecutive years. That's #1. Number 2, with all the years of success that we've had, we've never had greater success on this show than in 2025. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and all the contributors out there.
Here's the other cut from Stephen A. Hoping that Garrett gets traded.
You're a good brother, my man. And I don't blame you for feeling salty about what I said. I wasn't talking about you. I was pleading for you to get help. Meaning the kind of help Sauce Gardner got when they sent him to Indy. Meaning the kind of help when the Williams got. And when they sent him to Dallas. I think players should be trying to get the hell up out of MetLife Stadium in a Jets or Giants uniform these days. More so the Jets than the Giants. The Giants got some talent, okay? And the Jets have some too. I was talking about the organization. The Jets are horrible. You haven't been in the playoffs since 2010. That's 15 years. Now, I didn't Google Garrett Wilson to find out how old he is. When y'all get an opportunity, producers, please remind me of how young this brother is.
Let's say 25.
Let's say 20. So in other words, they ain't been in the playoffs since you were 10. They ain't been in the playoffs since you were in junior high school. Junior high school.
Actually, that's elementary school.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, it's perfect that Garrett responded because all it does is give Stephen A. that. It's brilliant. It's fantastic.
The response to the response.
Hey, Knicks won last night.
I saw. They broke that. They finally healed up after that 2-day ass kicking from the Pistons, so they were fresh.
Well, here's Jalen Brunson. We played like we wanted it.
For the most part, we played a little desperate tonight. Like I said before, we needed a win. I think the way we competed, the way we played, even though we were down in the first half, was Knicks basketball. And we just kept playing that way and found a way to win. But just keep believing in the process and not being so result based. Yeah. And so, but I think the way we played was good tonight. We just got to continue to play like that and learn from it.
The game was crazy too, man, because it was close, like all the way in the 70s. It was close, and then they finally got a little breathing room, and ultimately the Clippers kind of fizzled out a little bit. But it was good to see them, get back on the board. I still don't like how many offensive rebounds they was giving up to Zubas.
Yeah,
man. When Cat is in there, no offensive rebounds. Like he just gets out rebounded like crazy. When Mitchell comes in, it's a little harder. But, man, so many second-chance opportunities, man, because they don't crash the boards.
Well, the problem I'm going to continue to have here is Cat being a little bit soft. Here he is on his season high in assists last night.
Try to impact winning, man. When the ball hits my hands and I get a chance to impact the game offensively, especially, I want to do that. And that's not just about shooting. It's good getting my teammates involved, making the right play that gets the next person the open shot. We call it a hockey assist in basketball. So, yeah, I said it last year, I said it this year. Anytime I touch the ball, I'm trying to be aggressive in my playmaking, whether that is making a play for myself or making a play for my teammates. But, I just want to impact winning every single day and, give ourselves the best chance to win the game and our fans a chance to cheer.
Tell you what, a couple of things I didn't like him on the other side complaining about not getting a call.
Yeah.
Zubas running down, getting an offensive rebound because he back there complaining.
Yeah, those arms were up a couple times last night. Where's my call? Gonna get it. I do feel like, Bart, it's still simmering below the surface about Cat and
Giannis.
Having to sacrifice. Well, but not even Giannis, but Cat, not loving this system all the way around and leaning to that. I don't think that Giannis talk is going to go away before February 4th. And then, I think it ultimately happens this year? At this point, I would probably say no, but...
Are we going to get some Anthony Davis talk?
It's interesting. Like, you brought this up yesterday. Obviously, the Anthony Davis talk, the first thing anybody like me is going to bring up is the fact that he cannot stay on the floor at all.
Been on the floor this year.
If we're just talking about which player would you rather have for this team, I'd rather have Anthony Davis. If it's just about the talent on the floor, I would rather have Anthony Davis because I know there's a toughness there too. And it's not the cat's 100% soft. It's just softish in spots.
Well, that gives you 2 rim protectors, 2 above average elite defenders, and Mitchell and Anthony Davis. And Mitchell allows Anthony Davis to play the 4, which he wants to do.
Now we've got Shams. Last night, we haven't even mentioned this today yet. Trae Young. Adios. Boy, that's a rough night for Trae when you go from Atlanta to Washington.
During the middle of the game, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's saying bye to his teammates.
He out like he was in the what did I say?
They couldn't wait till after the game.
Peace out. Yeah. Peace, guys, out.
They couldn't wait.
Peaced out.
They couldn't wait till after the game to say something.
No, it was adios. Got to go now. Trae Young means the Hawks can target another big star.
This trade now sets up the Hawks with additional financial flexibility to go out and swing for a high-priced, big salary player, potentially, namely, Dallas Mavericks star Anthony Davis. The Hawks will pursue Davis the second half of the season ahead of the February trade deadline. The Mavericks will talk to several teams, but the Hawks have been at the forefront of interested parties along with the Toronto Raptors for the perennial all-star big man. But in the immediate future, the Hawks are turning their core over to Jalen Johnson and other players such as Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Dyson Daniels. And they believe C.J. McCollum also fits as a plug-and-play player, a floor spacer, and then you also have Corey Kispert as a sharpshooter on the wing.
Ain't Porzingis in Atlanta?
Mm-hmm.
So Porzingis back to Dallas?
I don't know about that, but they're obviously
give me Anthony
trying.
Davis. You got to give me something
No,
back.
I understand. It's just, would you rather have Porzingis or Anthony Davis?
They both hurt. This is the same player.
Well, one's a little tougher than the other. I mean, Porzingis, how many games has he
Porzingis
played
from
this
Mother
year?
Russia.
Has he even played 20 games this year yet? He's back, but he's only played maybe 15.
I beat real champion.
You got him as the tall, lanky Drago. That's what you got him.
Correcto mundo.
All right, last one. Jimbo Fisher, former coach of Florida State, former coach of Texas A&M.
Rob Texas A&M, by the way.
Yes, he did. What was it, $96 million or whatever it was, or $76 million he walked away with on the buyout? Here he is on the ACC network, ripping Lane Kiffin.
No, it's selfish. That's what it is. It's stupid. He wanted a coach and thought he didn't get his way. So everybody get on the plane with me, you don't have a job. And he makes them all go. Then he gets down there and takes a PR hit because it looks bad that you really don't care about the kids. Then he says, okay, you can go back. But here's where he screwed up. He thought they're going to lose to Georgia, exactly. And then the portal thing was all over with, and it was going to be all over with. And he said, okay, I'll look like a hero. Yeah. Now he's got egg on his face because the real Lane came back out. And if those guys were allowed to coach a first game, they should be allowed to coach a fourth. Because those kids are doing something that you get one time in your life to ever do. Literally. That team and those guys one time. And as a coach, listen, I know I've left a job. I get that. But if you took them on and said they're never coming back, that's fine. You set the rules of the game. You don't change the rules in the middle of the game. And as a coach, it's hurting the kids and it pisses me off.
Nothing wrong with what he's saying. If you're Lane Kiffin and you are legitimately, as Ian Fitzsimmons told us yesterday, calling Charlie Weiss Jr. when you know the team meetings are, you are just the freaking worst. You are the worst. Because he says to Charlie Weiss, yeah, listen, you can go coach him. I called. You better pick up that phone.
Yeah, and miss me with that LSU is now paying those coaches' salary. Be the bigger person.
Yeah.
Those coaches being there is not going to affect your off-season conditioning they ain't even back from winter conditioning yet. You know what I'm saying? You don't even start winter conditioning. The damn season ain't even over with yet. You got about 3 more weeks before winter conditioning even starts. Come on, man. Certified jackwagon, just like Al Davis told us a long time ago. When somebody show you who they are, believe them. And expect Lane Kiffin to always show up as the royal ass.
And think about the fact that Al Davis is the voice of reason in that discussion.
Correct.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
When it comes to meat and seafood, selection matters, and no one beats Wild Fork Foods. To everyday essentials, to high-quality steaks, to seafood and more, every product is blast frozen to lock in peak flavor and freshness, so you get restaurant-quality meats at home for amazing prices. Shop in person at 7 locations across Long Island and New Jersey, or you can order online for same-day delivery. It's easy, it's convenient, and the prices are wild. WildForkFoods.com.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
1 in every 6 men is likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime. That's why New York Presbyterian wants to remind men over 50 to book a prostate cancer screening. A simple blood test is all it takes. It could save your life. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester at locations near you. Schedule your annual prostate cancer screening today at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever, meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets, so go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
The College Football Playoff Semifinals on ESPN Radio. Tonight in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl.
From 47 yards, he got it!
Ole Miss faces Miami.
And it's intercepted! It's going to be a Miami pick six!
Then on Friday in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. It's Indiana, Oregon. The College Football Playoff Semifinals, 7 Eastern. Tonight and tomorrow on 1050 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
What are the CFP semifinals tonight? 1 tomorrow night. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York YouTube page. Free of charge each and every week. No compensation involved whatsoever. Joe Fortenbaugh, ESPN betting analyst, joins us right now. Not a dime goes his way. We're not even donating anything to charity. In fact, I'm taking the money that I would donate to charity for Joe, and I'm using it on something selfish. Hi.
To place a bet.
Like what? Arby's? You finally hit Arby's?
I haven't hit it yet. Not once. Not once.
What are we doing?
I'm not going out of my way for Arby's. There's not a Arby's near me. You think I'm... Listen, I'm like you, Joe. I very much want to control every aspect of my time, and I am not driving out of my way for Arby's.
I think he's taking a sabbatical from Carlin's Corner.
No, I'm coming back. It's coming back next week or so.
I was going to say, I haven't seen anything from the big fella, but I figured the holidays, you've been calling a lot of college games. You're probably starting that new diet like all of us in January, so maybe we get a hummus review sometime in the future.
He's lost 13 pounds.
No. 16.
16.
Now, can you tell? Of course not. That's like, that's like a drop of sweat.
2 pounds is from shaving his back hair.
Hey, look, Hey, look, we're making progress. We're having fun with our jokes, but we're making progress. You can't get to 13 or 16 pounds without the first couple. You can't get to 50 or 100 without 13 to 16. So let's keep it moving in the right direction. I like it. Carlin's Corner Table. We're going to be at Whole Foods in the vegetable aisle.
Yeah, no, Cheryl, my wife has been pushing me. I really think you should do one from a salad place. Oh, really? Thanks, honey.
Salads are the worst. Salads are the worst. Listen, if you're going to eat calories, don't spend it all on dressing and all that other stuff. The salads is like a fake healthy food.
See, Bart, once again, you have crystallized my thoughts. I've been trying to tell the world the
Cheese,
salads are
ranch, and
frauds
bacon.
of food
Right.
forever. Absolutely.
Bacon, cheese, and cream ranch.
What should we be doing then? If we're skipping the salad, what should we be doing?
You stick to protein. You stick to high-fat protein.
I'm sorry. I wasn't clear.
He can get some
I was
greens.
asking the former athlete, not the radio.
He can eat some collard greens that is cooked in chicken broth and put some smoked turkey in there and some cut up minced garlic.
Listen, the last I checked, these all-protein diets seem to work pretty well. So if you're telling me all I got to do is eat bacon, we're good. We're good.
Bacon is bacon will give you high cholesterol and congestive heart failure.
That's what drugs are for. Joe, let's get to some gambling.
Bart, you idiot! We'll just take Lipitor.
Exactly.
Nice.
Actually, Zocor these days. Anyway, Joe, tonight I have already seen your DraftKings parlay that you put out just a little while ago on social media, and it includes you with Ole Miss plus 3.5. Talk to me about Ole Miss tonight in this spot against Miami.
Let me tell you this. It's down to 3 at some shops, which,
really?
as you know, is a very significant move. For as much as everybody likes Miami, it has been a steady stream of Ole Miss money. They got hit early in the process, and now they're getting hit again today, and it's down to 3. Miami, it's not so much disrespect for Miami. Miami's been very good. They deserve a lot of credit for what they've done. Their defense is absolutely nasty, but they've been doing this from the underdog role. Now, all of a sudden, we're asking them to cover points, and that offense is only averaging 13 points per game in the playoffs. Now, you might do the numbers of the scores and say, wait a minute, it's more than 13. They had a defensive touchdown in there. So what happens in this game if Trinidad Chambliss, who's the better of the two quarterbacks, and Ole Miss finds their way to a lead? That means Carson Beck's going to need to throw the ball and win this game. He's not going to be able to lean back and let his defense get it done, and that is the big problem for Miami because they have done a really nice job protecting him these last few weeks, letting the defense win, Fletcher running the ball out of the backfield. It's been a great game plan that has put the quarterback in a healthy situation. But if he's got to play from behind, look out. So I'm on Ole Miss in this one. I haven't done anything with the total here. I know some people are leaning a little bit to the under. I haven't done anything with that. So we're on Ole Miss.
All right, but how about Chambliss as far as the props are concerned?
Haven't done anything there either because the thing is a lot of books only offer one-way action, which is basically like overs. Like I can play over 200 or over 250 or over 275. Well, sometimes your boy wants to bet an under, and when those aren't there, because college football is a little bit more limited than everything else, I would stay clear of that. What I would look at, the two running backs. This is going to be a little counterproductive to what I just told you, but Lacey, the running back from Ole Miss, his props for rushing is upwards of 89 or so yards. Mark Fletcher for Miami is upwards of 88. I'd be more inclined to say Fletcher over because Ole Miss doesn't have an elite run defense. And then I would be looking at Lacey under because while I like Ole Miss, I like it because of Chambliss in the passing game. So that's kind of where I am with that.
All right, we got tomorrow night, Indiana and Oregon, a rematch here. Where are we on this game? Joe, to me, just quickly, Oregon was the most talented team that I saw all year, but Indiana's doing things that nobody expected them to do.
That's true. This is a great matchup. Love the fact that we have a rematch here. I'm on Oregon. The money's been coming in on Oregon as well. I can understand the hesitation for the people who want to back Indiana, but I'd ask you this. How jacked up were those same people to play Indiana against Alabama? That's the thing. That 60-minute game at the Rose Bowl has changed the perception and thus the value when it comes to Indiana. Talk to anybody you know who follows this stuff. Not super close, not the true insiders, fans who like to follow this stuff and who might not be watching Indiana all year. No shame in that. It's Indiana. We get it. You probably went into the Alabama game saying, I don't know, it's Alabama. They beat Oklahoma. They won all these titles. Indiana, they kind of have to prove it to me. And those same people coming off that game are now fully on board the Indiana train. That tells me we've had a complete shift. Indiana deserves all the love, don't get me wrong, but they were undervalued against Bama, and now I think they're a little overvalued in this matchup here. When these two met in Oregon back on October 11th, it was the Ducks laying 7.5. Now they're catching 3.5 on a neutral. That's an 11-point swing. Yes, we need to adjust the point spread for the site and the fact that Indiana is better than we realized from back then. But 11 points is too many. I'm with the Ducks here. I also think you could play the over. I know both defenses have played well. I think this game gets nutty. Like we always get some of that with these college games. This feels like a nutty second half game where they let it fly.
Joe Fortenbaugh with us, ESPN betting analyst. Let's get to the games this weekend, the NFL. Which for you, and you'll give us something on all the games because you always do, but which for you is I cannot miss out on the action of this game. I have to make sure that if I am going to wager this weekend, I am going to be involved on this particular game.
Incredible work by you because you wanted to say lock. Which game is the lock? And you know you're not allowed to say that.
I don't know what lock means. I'm sorry. Lock is something that you put on a locker. I don't know. Yeah.
Midway through, you knew you couldn't say that, so you're like, just a game you're so excited to bet. You really, really want to have action. To answer that question, all of them, Carlin, I want to bet all of them. Like always, nothing's changed. The two that jump out the most from a really enjoy this sort of wagering standpoint, I'd say Chargers-Patriots under 46.5. That's a big number for two top 10 defenses. Bart probably would agree to this. I don't know. I'm going to throw it out there, but I heard a long time ago, bad offensive lines do not travel in the National Football League. Nope. And that Charger O-line is going to be in big trouble in New England. I know New England doesn't have the most ferocious pass rush, but with that crowd noise, I think the Chargers struggle to move the ball because of the O-line. I think the Charger defense shows up and limits the Patriots a little bit. I go under 46.5.
Yeah.
The other one I like, Jacksonville plus the 1.5 over Buffalo. I think we're paying a tax on the Bills here because of Josh Allen and everything we've seen in the past. I just don't think this team is that good outside of Allen and Cook. Defense isn't great. Wide receiving unit suspect. Bills are going to want to run the ball here. And Jacksonville ranks 6th in defensive rush success rate. So here's my prediction. I'm going to give you a 3-layered prediction. You ready? Jacksonville wins, prediction 1. McDermott gets fired, prediction 2. Brian Daboll gets hired, prediction 3. Daboll to the Bills.
As the head coach?
Hey, listen, I gave you a 3-layered prediction.
Okay.
That's the end of it. I'm not saying anything else.
Do you not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
No, I get it. Listen, that's adding a little value. If I had a parlay of it, like I was going to ask you, and I know the problem is, like, we can't really get to a point here unless you're looking at some places that may not be unsure where you can wager on all the coaching situations. But, man, it is getting more and more interesting by the day, and I'm just wondering what odds would look like in some of these scenarios.
So can we ask?
Well, I'm telling you. Go ahead.
No, because now I'm curious to what do you believe in the Houston-Pittsburgh game? Because then that can mean something. What you got? You got any juice for that one?
Okay, so Joe, we need more action. Get me to Monday, please. Okay, I like the under in that game as well, 39.5. I'll get you to the side because I know that's what you're asking. I think the under is the best bet here. Houston's defense, 17 points per game. Houston is a dome team going outdoors in cold weather in the playoffs. Historically, that has not fared well, and we already know that offense has got problems. And I think Houston's D shows up against Pittsburgh's offense. So where I land there, I think the best bet is the under. For the side, it opened Steelers minus 3.5. Pittsburgh immediately took money, and it went down to 3. I have not bet it. I lean to Pittsburgh solely because this just feels like a rock fight where you got a dome team that just can't figure it out when they need to. C.J. Stroud's been okay. That first year was great, but I don't know. I just don't like the situation on a Monday night at all. That damn Tomlin voodoo, you can't, for some reason, I'm always on the wrong side of it, so maybe I am here too. But that's where I landed. By the way, like you could find those prediction markets, I'll tell you, you can bet these coaching things. Like your boy may have been on Harbaugh to get dismissed from Baltimore at a nice little price there. Those things are coming along nicely.
Okay. Well, with that being the case then, who would Joe Fortenbaugh, in a world of hypotheticals, even though apparently it's not a hypothetical now, who would Joe Fortenbaugh bet on getting the Giants head coaching job?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Especially after the news today with Miami. Yeah.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. In that scenario, what I have to do is I have to be able to handicap the mind of the New York Giants ownership group, and I'm sorry, I just can't get down there. I really just can't get myself to a point where I can think like that. I have no idea why they're keeping Shane. I have no idea why last year it was all about continuity, and, you know, we really want to keep these guys around to develop a quarterback, but, you know, they better win right away, and now I'm going to fire the coach midway through the season. Like, it makes no sense what they do. They are just poorly run. So you're asking a really intelligent person to make a really unintelligent decision. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. My brain won't allow.
Well, thanks for the lack of insight in that last answer, Joe. Appreciate the time.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
What else can be done? What else can be done? Is there anything else here? Can we suggest playing under 44.5 in the Eagles-49ers game? Can we tell you that the Packers might be the right side on Saturday night? Can we say if you watch Get Up tomorrow, you might see me fighting Bart Scott because it's a loaded cast, and I know that means less minutes for me, so I'm going to have to get in there and mix it up tomorrow.
We're coming off college. We each going to get 15 minutes a pop.
I tell you what.
Yeah.
I'll give you $10 if you go on tomorrow, raise your arms up and say, "Are you not entertained?"
I'll tell you, last week, the best seat in that house is sitting next to Bart because there's a bunch of jokes that are happening when our mics are cut and the show is going on. We were just reciting lines from Booty Call for like 5 straight minutes last week.
Yeah, man.
Greenberg had no idea what was happening.
He's like, okay, which one of you guys are buns?
We'll talk next week, brother. Thanks.
My pleasure. Don't worry about sending me any money or anything. I do this for the love of the game.
I know you do, and that's why we won't. Thank you. Joe Fortenbaugh, ESPN betting analyst, who joins us each and every week free of charge.
See him in the morning.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that
may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson for three.
And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. Bart Scott.
What the hell?
Chris Carlin.
Take a hike. We're good.
This is Bart and Carlin.
Buckle your chin strap. We about to bang.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Noon, ESPN New York, Bart and Carlin. It's noon on Thursday, in fact. That will mean something momentarily. But first, the fact that it's noon means what?
It's the power hour. Giants, get your quarterback, get your coach. Get him now. It's getting scared.
It's getting away from you.
We said it was the best job in football. Is it really? We have to re-examine. Will Shane cost you the coach that you want?
No, it won't. He will not. That will absolutely not happen. That will absolutely not happen. The Giants would hire Chad Alexander tomorrow if it meant they got John Harbaugh.
They
Put it
stand
that
on
way.
business. Stand on business.
But this is why, before we get to high noon, this is why you don't have to have the GM come out the day after the season and once again reaffirm that he's in charge, that he's the guy. You don't have to do that. You don't have to put out a statement. Don't have to do any of that. You already said it once. But if you're going to hire a new coach, why not just wait? Why not just wait and see how it all plays out? And then maybe 4 days later, listen, they may not care, and that's fine. They may just do what they're going to do anyway, which I would hope would be the case. But it just looks silly to do it this way if, in fact, Joe Shane would keep you from getting the coach that you want. It's Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York YouTube page where you should be watching. You should go there. You should subscribe. You should, by all means, not accidentally play a Jalen Brunson cut, as I just did. You should actually just go there and like the page. How about that? You could certainly do that.
Jalen Brunson had a redemption story yesterday. It's okay. That's appropriate.
Yeah, well, he had a good night, and the Knicks won. Which was a nice little, moment to get out of that little funk. And here was Jalen Brunson after the game.
I'm the only winner on the team. The rest of them are losers, either by choice or by birth.
I should have played that for Fortenbaugh. He loves that. He absolutely loves that. Let's get to a little high noon.
It's high noon.
That is our top-level production right there. A little music from the Southwest.
Chisholm, duly elected.
My name is Sam Chisholm. I'm a duly sworn warrant officer of the Circuit Court.
We both played it at the same time. Good job by Joe. That's on me. I should have played it first.
And fight.
Round one, fight. The Giants should be watching Ruben Bain tonight.
I mean, I would say yes. Mulalaga as well, because I think the Giants need to get a dominant right tackle on the opposite side of Thomas. You talk about completing and being able to protect Jackson Dart. He's by far he's like Mimbu was last year. He's seen as Mimbu was, maybe even better, a little bit more high profile. But Miami has two of the best tackles in all of football. That's assuming that they're not going to go receiver in the first round. You want to try and when you get a franchise quarterback, and if they're identifying Jackson Dart as a franchise quarterback, then you got to do everything. Your first couple of drafts after you get that guy got to be about protecting him and making sure that he can stay upright.
I would say to Giant fans tonight, just pay attention to Ruben Bain.
Yeah.
This is a guy that can ruin a game quickly. And I know what you're going to say. Abdul Carter. I know what you're going to say.
Kayvon Thibodeau. Brian
Burns. All of it. I get it. I just would once again point you back to when the Giants won Super Bowls in the last 20 years. What did they do?
Kia Nukwa.
Kiwanuka, they kept
O.C.
drafting them. They kept drafting
Justin
them.
Tuck.
They kept
Michael Strahan Jr.
They kept drafting them. They kept drafting them because every time I talk to any of these coaches, they all say the same thing. Last week, in production meetings, talking to a couple of the coaches from Tennessee and from Illinois and all over the place, they all end up saying the same thing at the end of it when you talk to the defensive coaches. They'll go on and on about different things, and then they'll say, the last thing they'll always say is, but of course, if you can affect the quarterback, that's everything. That's what it ultimately is in the game period. And when the Giants were able to win championships, they were able to do it because they were able to get home with 4 and drop 7, and they didn't have to blitz. Ruben Bain is a game wrecker.
Bain is big enough to move inside, too.
He's 275, 6'3", 275.
275 is bigger, way bigger than Aaron Donald.
You could be explosive inside. That's a whole. I mean,
that's
him next to Dexter Lawrence.
Well, that's a NASCAR package.
Yeah.
But it really works if you're in a 3-4 because you can get all those guys out there. You can get Burns out there. You can get Thibodeau out there. Put him at the 5 technique, which is pretty much just shooting gaps.
All I'm saying is don't rule out the Giants and Ruben Bain. That's all. Because if he becomes that level if he's going to be that level of player at that position, that is an incredible, incredible luxury to have.
Round 2, fight! What team playing this weekend should be interested in John Harbaugh?
Now, this was before the Dolphins fired McDaniel that we decided on this question.
Yeah.
So out of the teams this weekend that are playing, that already have coaches, who should be interested in John Harbaugh if they lose?
Now, I had 2 teams, but I've tried to figure out the one we settled on in the meeting was me taking the Green Bay Packers. I believe that's where we settled in. Is it not?
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay. So, for me, it was the Green Bay Packers. You talk about LaFleur. He's been good, not great. And if he finds a way to lose to the Chicago Bears after the Bears were in the bottom of the division, only to come be outcoached by Ben Johnson, then you have to take a strong look to see if he's your leader for the future. This team put all their chips in the middle of the table. This is a team, I like to remind people, that build their team through the draft, and that also never drafts receivers in the first round until this year when they drafted Matthew Golden, and then they made a massive trade, giving up 2 first-round draft picks for Micah Parsons. And then after that, giving him a humongous deal, making him the highest-paid quarterback in the league. And if this leads to a first-round exit, bro, maybe you've outstayed your welcome.
It's the Bills. I understand the discussion around the Packers. I get it. Bills lose to Jacksonville this weekend. John Harbaugh's a better coach than Sean McDermott. Now, Sean McDermott will get another job pretty quickly, too. But
come to the Giants.
If I'm Buffalo, I would absolutely consider hiring Sean McDermott if I were the Giants. I'd hire him in a minute before I'd hire Kevin Stefanski. In a minute.
This would be the opposite world. This would be a defensive coach.
Yeah, but as long as I get good offensive coaches around him.
Is he bringing Joe Brady with him?
I don't know. Joe Brady might get some looks at head coach, too.
He will.
But my point is simply this. If you are the Giants, if you are the Buffalo Bills and you lose this weekend, adding him as your head coach is a must. John Harbaugh, you think you're not attractive to him with Josh Allen? Like, think about it.
No,
the embarrassment
of riches.
They
did send his ass home.
Yeah.
They did send the Ravens home.
Yeah, but look at the embarrassment of riches that he's going to have from jobs to choose from. The Bills, because of Josh Allen, become the most attractive job, period. Yeah. Period. Even slightly over Lamar.
Yeah, Miami don't have a quarterback unless Lamar is going to Miami.
And as we know, Baltimore is not hiring John Harbaugh because they just fired him. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York YouTube page. Let's hit round 3.
Round 3, fight! Which game is a must-see this weekend?
If you have to miss all of the other games, which is the one game that you will not miss this weekend?
For me, I know I kind of bounced around with what I believed, but for me, I want to see San Francisco versus Philadelphia. It's a history there. I think they're consistently 2 of the best teams in the NFC, 12-5 versus 11-6. Like Philly, we thought Philly was just on his way to mosey right into a back-to-back Super Bowl, and now it's questions about him. You talk about question, a quarterback for Jalen Hurts. Is he really a dude, or is he just a product of his environment? Not being able to throw the ball this year, he's going to have to maybe open up. Brock Purdy in this offense until last week against Seattle had been on fire, right? And this is without Brandon Ayuk, a player that they paid a bunch of money and hasn't reported back from injury. But they got Trent Williams that's probably going to come back this week. McCaffrey is the Saquon Barkley of this season as far as what he's been able to do. I don't know if he got 1,000 and 1,000, but, to be only the second time, I know he was going for 1,000 and 1,000. He's been on fire and solid for whatever you want to say. This team can't get sacks, but they still play very, very good defense.
Listen, for me, I want to see the Bears-Packers again on Saturday night. I want to see these two teams who have played twice in the last month play again. Now, I think the Bears are going to win this game because obviously the Parsons thing has done a little something to the Packers, as you would expect that it would. But Jordan Love has not exactly been healthy here for a bit. He's been banged up and for, I would say, about the last 6 weeks or so. For me, I'm looking at this at the moment. I love this rivalry between these two teams. I love the matchup between these two teams. I think it's going to be a great game, and it's just got the most history, most aura to it. Johnny Pickham said this morning. He wants to see players' breath tomorrow night. He wants to see it freezing in Chicago. Looks like it's going to be like in the 20s. Unfortunately, not down at 0 like he would want it. Might be a little rainy, which means if it's in the 20s, it's going to be snowy.
But tell his ass to watch the game outside with no shirt on, then, if that's the case.
Yeah,
tell him go in his backyard and watch the game. If you want that for them, then you need to be in the elements too.
Yeah, no, I'm good. That's why I like watching it from home. One of the best games I ever saw was the Tuck Rule game, and I watched it from home very comfortably.
With hot chocolate.
For me, it's Bears-Packers. It's Bart Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York YouTube page. Can I bring something up here that is really bugging me? I have seen this happen so many times throughout the playoffs, and it bothers me to no end. Why? Why is it that we have to give a division winner a home game when they are a bad division winner? Why do we have to give the Panthers a home game against the Rams?
Because it happens every once in a while. Because it's hard to kind of say. That's almost like with the rankings in college. Teams don't play the same schedule.
I know.
You have to reward the person for winning your division. It's the most consistent way to figure out who the better teams are. Because let's just say this year, New England. Is New England's record really the same as Seattle's? Being that the teams that's in the division?
I understand that.
But they got the number 2 pick.
But over the years, those things tend to balance themselves out.
Right. And in that other direction, we rarely get a 7 or 8 win team that goes to the playoffs. Last year, that wasn't the case. Last year, we had teams, that was 11. Because if you do it the other way, you'll make the argument that, okay, well, every team in the 1, 2, and 3 seed should be the teams in the NFC West.
To me, though, even though you can point to, let's talk about Monday night, for instance.
Yes.
That game's in Pittsburgh. It's a 10-7 Steelers team against a 12-5 Texans team. Texans have won 9 in a row. They deserve that game to be at home.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
If they want to do that, they should have won their division.
The team that went and won the division went 13-4.
And it bees like that because last year the Steelers were on the other end of it, right? Because the Ravens won a bunch of games.
I hate the fact that the Carolina Panthers are going to host the Rams this weekend. I've got that.
But if you're the better team, you should win, though. If you're the better team, you should win.
I've got the 49ers going on the road to Philadelphia. The 49ers are 12-5 with all the injuries they've had.
They only won one more game than Philadelphia.
That doesn't matter. Overall, they had a better record. You have 3 teams with better records that are going on the road this weekend. That sucks. That sucks.
That only happens and it really works like every blue moon.
But it's happening more and more now because we've got 7 teams in the playoffs. And you know this too. We are going to have these bad divisions. Like the AFC South, we could talk about how bad it was. Well, they just had a 12 and a 13 game winner. So how bad could it be? All right? The other two teams may not be good, but the Colts were very good for a while halfway through the year. There's really just one bad team in the AFC South. We knew the AFC North was going to be a dogfight, but just because of that, it's not like because they're all great teams.
But people don't think that the AFC North, they don't think the Ravens are a bad team, even though their record is bad.
Say that again?
People don't think the Ravens are a bad team. It's just that their record is bad because of their quarterback being hurt.
Well, but this is my point. No matter what the extenuating circumstances are and a quarterback being hurt or whatever, the team that has the better record, that has accomplished more during the season, has the right to have a home game. And for me, you want to talk about how is the NFC West a worse division than the NFC South? No.
NFC West is a good division.
Yeah, exactly. The Rams won 12 games, and they're going on the road to the NFC South.
Well,
The Panthers won 8-9. That's terrible.
One of the 8 wins is against who?
They beat the Rams. I know that.
Okay. So who's
it's not like that's a tiebreaker, though.
So who's a better team?
Well, it's not like that's a tiebreaker.
No, but
they beat them at home.
But who's the better team?
All right. So who's the better team between the Packers and the Bears when they've split games twice? Or they split the 2 times they matched up in the last month.
Well, they split.
Yeah.
And one game had Michael Parsons, and the other one didn't.
Listen.
So I would say the Bears.
You can say all you want about that. For me,
it's not about who you play; it's when you play them.
Well, then what's the whole point of the entire season then? Like that's like a college football argument. Like there used to be the argument where we'd have it at the beginning of the year. Well, it's not about who you play; it's when you play them. Well, they played them at the beginning of the year and they lost. No, now they count them all the same.
The thing about NFL, you can't go with past performances.
Listen, I've been the guy that's knocking New England for the fact that I don't believe in them. Watch them go. If they go lose, they lose. But do I expect them to lose to the Chargers this weekend? I don't.
I do.
You think so?
Yeah.
Even with what's going on with that offensive line?
I think Herbert will find a way.
It'll be interesting. But I'll tell you what, if those 3 teams win, like that would reinforce to me even more that they should have been playing at home, meaning the Texans, the 49ers, and the Rams.
The Texans should win, but how many times did the Texans host a game because they was in a weak-ass division? Nobody complained for them. Nobody cried for the team that had to go to the Texans. Nobody ever cried.
But it was like the Browns and Texans 2 years ago.
The Texans
or the Raiders and Texans 7-8 years ago.
The Texans used to win the division all the time under Matt Schaub and Bill O'Brien.
But my point is simply, why can't we reseed when we've made the playoffs bigger?
It's too damn complicated, man.
No, it's not.
Why are we reseeding?
You had a better record than me. You get to host the game, period.
I had a harder strength of schedule than you. I had a harder strength of schedule than you.
I'm sorry that you had a harder strength of schedule.
I'm sorry,
than me.
I'm sorry.
That's not my problem.
I'm sorry, New England. That you got.
I won the games that were in front of me.
New England got Miami. New England got the Jets. New England had the easiest schedule. They should be punished for not winning them all. And the Bills are even worse. The Bills were favored in every game they played in.
Well, the Bills are going on the road.
And they deserve to.
Well, they're 12-5, and they're on the road against who? A 13-4 team, as they should be.
Right, but if they would have played anybody else, they would have been. They would have. If they would have went, they could have went to the Texans. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can tell me all you want about this. Those divisions and when teams are good and bad, that all balances out over the years.
So in your scenario, then let's not even have AFC, NFC. Let's just go over records.
No, I'm saying.
So why do we do that?
What do you mean?
Why do we separate them to AFC and NFC?
So that they have.
Why don't we just go to best records in football?
You could do that too
in the power ranking.
If you want to get rid of it,
but we
don't
do that because NFC plays different teams than the AFC, which is why when you go to the divisions, we take the divisions winners because they play the same opponents.
That's fine.
Mic drop.
It's not a mic drop when the 8 and 9 Panthers are hosting the 12-5 Rams.
Who they beaten?
Yes, they beat them, but it doesn't mean they're a better team because throughout the course of the year, the Rams were 4 games better.
The Rams have actually been choking during the end of the season.
So you're going to take the Panthers?
I'll take the points.
All right, remember that. Remember that tomorrow. When when Rico get busy, don't say nothing. You think Rico's going to get busy against the Rams?
Well, they turned over Matthew Stafford a lot.
Yes, they did
in the first game.
I think he had 4 picks in that game.
Yeah,
3 picks, maybe.
Yeah, and they ran the hell out of the ball against them. Rico and Hubbard.
All right, so we'll see.
Hey, Mother Tubbard.
We'll
sitting
see.
in a cupboard looking for a bowl of chili. One fell down and came back around.
I'm sorry. If you put together a better record than the other team, you should be hosting the game.
That's not true.
That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it.
That's not true.
It's Bart Carlin on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York YouTube page. The news of the day involves the Miami Dolphins firing Mike McDaniel. Why is that the news of the day? Well, seemingly they are going out of their way to tell everybody on the planet and every insider that there is that them firing Mike McDaniel today, 4 days later, has absolutely nothing to do, is 100% independent of John Harbaugh getting fired.
And Shaq Alexander being added to the general manager list.
Exactly. So let's go through this. The Dolphins, as far as a timeline, on Monday night at like 6:30, announced 4 or 5 candidates that they were going to be talking to about the GM job. Tuesday afternoon, John Harbaugh gets fired at 5 o'clock, 4:30. At 6:30 Monday night, mysteriously, Chad Alexander, he of the Chargers now, and for a long time of the Ravens.
And Jets.
Jets as well?
Yeah, he was with the Jets with Joe Douglas.
Okay.
For 4 years.
He gets added to the Dolphins interview list for the GM. Then he does well in his Zoom interview, and he has an in-person interview tomorrow or today with 2 other candidates. So they're doing 3 final interviews today before the Dolphins announce who their GM is going to be tomorrow all of a sudden. So in the span of 4 days, you've done your GM search.
How you make that? I mean, Tannenbaum was out here doing this for 5 weeks.
And that has absolutely nothing to do with hiring John Harbaugh, who worked with Chad Alexander forever.
And Anthony Weaver.
Oh, my God.
Anthony Weaver actually played for the Ravens.
No, I know that.
And then he actually was on the coaching staff with Harbaugh 2 years ago.
Exactly.
Before he went to Miami.
Well, all of this is true. And this is a problem for the Giants. Because the Giants now have more major competition to get John Harbaugh to be their coach.
Here's what the Giants need to do. Schedule an appointment first. See, if Miami says they haven't reached out to anybody, they just made the firing.
Oh, we just did this. It's crazy. It's all a madhouse, how it's all happening now.
You need to get Harbaugh on the first thing. Like, we want to schedule. You said you're not talking the next week. We don't need a phone interview. We need an in-person interview. You've already made it to the finals.
Let me just ask you this question. If you're the Giant, or if you're John Harbaugh, what's the best job to get right now? Because he has now said, I'm not talking to anyone until next week. In other words, we're waiting out the weekend, too.
Yeah, I want to watch the games and watch my brother hang out a little bit.
So let's see, and let's see who else gets fired. That's what you're also saying.
Now, what he going to say is, if Mike Tomlin gets fired, he going to say, hey, I'm ready to interview.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
I'm ready to interview.
Well, because Mike Tomlin's going to be right there as well.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the price tag is not as good as he would want it to be, which is why, if I were him, I might be waiting on this a bit. I might not be waiting on this quite a bit.
Yeah.
I might be trying to get this done a little bit sooner rather than later.
You add Sean McDermott, and you add, but a job like Buffalo could open.
Mm-hmm.
So you might want to wait.
So my point is simply this: would we rank, if Buffalo were to come open, does that immediately become the best job?
Yes.
Because of Josh Allen.
Yes, and the recent success of the team.
What is the number 2 job at that point?
I would probably say I like Atlanta.
For Harbaugh specifically.
I like Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah, you may have some hesitation about Penix. But Penix, I think, outside of the health, head-to-head, is no worse than Jackson Dart. What makes Atlanta different is they have probably the best or second-best offensive player in football in Bijan Robinson.
What about the Dolphins?
Then they have Drake London. I would probably say that
you still have Atlanta in front of the Dolphins and the Giants.
No, I would have
Buffalo,
Atlanta.
Yep.
And then I would have and I say Atlanta because also you're in a weaker division.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a team that basically was tied with everybody in the division You had the same record as the division champs. And you have probably one of the most talented teams in that division. You know, you cut Kirk Cousins, you dump that money. You can go out and get a Malik Willis if you want, or figure out what you want to do with Michael Penix. So I will go there, and then I will go with the Giants job because of Jackson Dart. But outside of Jackson Dart, they have a solid defense. But I think Harbaugh is still a purist, right? He's a purist. His father's a coach. His brother's a coach. I think he really appreciates the fact of the history of the Giants. So he may have the Giants number 2 or maybe even number 1.
But you personally would have them 3 or 4?
I would have them 3.
Ahead of Miami?
Yeah. Because that Tua thing is a mess. I mean, now it's not a mess if you're cutting him and going to eat that big salary cap and go get Malik Willis, but Malik Willis is unproven.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York YouTube page. So all of a sudden, the Dolphins appear to be pushing and pushing and pushing to try to go and get the top person on the market right now, which would be John Harbaugh, even though they insist that they made this decision independent of that. It's Bart Carlin, 800-919-3776. Get involved on it now on ESPN New York.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
FanDuel is giving all customers a profit boost every college playoff game day. That means more chances to level up your picks and turn big moments into even bigger wins. Ride with the favorite, take a shot on the underdog, or build a parlay. Then apply your profit boost and go for bigger winnings. FanDuel is the best place to get into the football action all playoff long. And when you win, you'll get paid instantly. So visit FanDuel.com/local to get your college playoff profit boost today. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever. Meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets. So go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off.
That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply by February 11th and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Wendy here. If you're looking to add a star player to your financial roster, you should take a look at SoFi's personal loans. SoFi's got some amazing moves that would be a valued addition to any team, like low fixed rates when you consolidate your debt, no fees required, and as soon as same-day funding. View your rate at SoFi.com/roster to get started. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A. member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply at SoFi.com/roster. NMLS 696891.
800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN, Bart Carlin, also on the ESPN New York YouTube page. A couple of people chiming in over there. Johnny Blaze, maybe to try to turn Dart into a Lamar-type player. Dart doesn't have that kind of speed. Lamar, when he is at his best,
the fastest guy on the field.
The fastest guy on the field, he's a video game.
Yeah.
He's like literally when you watch in person, it looks like a video game.
And he never get hurt. He just be stepping back, stiff arm here. I'll make you miss 9 seconds. Yeah, nah. I wouldn't do that.
Also comments, maybe the Giants should just hire Harbaugh. Don't waste any time. That's not the point. It's whether or not Harbaugh wants to come here.
Right.
And that's why he's sitting back and waiting here a little bit. By the way, Giants just asked for permission to talk to another assistant, Darren Rizzi, from the Sean Payton special teams coordinator.
See,
he's a Jersey guy.
See, that's why Joe Shane need to be fired. Why the hell are you wasting our time with that, man? Man, you wasted time, man.
Listen, I think they're compiling their list of candidates, and I don't think Darren Rizzi's wasted time. He was the guy who was the interim for the Saints a couple of years ago.
I don't care. You asked permission to speak to the special team dude that we don't even know. No. McCarthy, I might fire you because of that. This the list. This the best your list you can do.
They worked together in Miami for 9 years or 8 years.
Exactly. You trying to mess with your boys? Nah. See, you got to go. You like what are we doing?
I'm just reporting the news.
Harbaugh.
I don't hate that one as much as you do.
Harbaugh.
I don't hate that one at all. But that's just me.
McCarthy. What's our real list?
Players love that guy.
No, I don't care what players love. Players love that guy. Everybody loves the special team coach. He's fun because he's like one of you. He damn near not even a real coach.
This is the one that I'm really interested in, though. If Tomlin gets let go, could you see Harbaugh interviewing with the Steelers?
No.
Now, talk to me about that. Like, why is that such a thing that could never happen?
One, the two organizations, I think they have a healthy hatred. They would never cross enemy lines. You've had players that have crossed enemy lines. Like Patrick Queen can never come back. It's never been a Steeler that crossed the line and went over to the Ravens.
Rod Woodson did. He did. But he went to the Raiders first and then to the Ravens.
But still, yeah. And that was before. That's when they were just started as an organization.
That wasn't
they weren't even 4 years. They were 4 years old as an organization when he did that.
I'd have to think about it. I'm sure there's been somebody, but nobody of massive consequence.
I mean, they're 30 years in. That was 26 years ago when they were damn near an expansion team.
But part of me, just from an entertainment standpoint, would love to see Harbaugh interview with the Steelers and then Tomlin interview with the Ravens.
See what you can do with those guys.
That would be amazing.
That would. But, realistically, top candidates out there. I mean, we can't put Brian Flores, even though Brian Flores, I believe I can see Brian Flores getting the job.
He is going to interview with the Ravens.
I can definitely see that happening.
Yep.
But realistically, what are the candidates, the top three candidates
for the Giants?
For the Giants. It's got to be Harbaugh, McCarthy.
Yep. Harbaugh, McCarthy, and
is it Mentor or Shula?
Did they officially say Mentor yet? That the Giants were interviewing Mentor? I didn't see that one yet.
So is it Shula?
Shula would be there. Hafley would be there. Who was the one? Is Stefanski? Is you putting him in front? You putting him third?
Yes,
probably put him third.
Stefanski, and if our guy Spagnuolo.
I haven't heard them ask permission to speak to him yet.
If he's out there trying to do it, I don't know why you wouldn't take him seriously.
There must be a reason that the Giants wouldn't be knocking on his door.
Because Arizona asked to speak to him, correct?
Yeah, it's Arizona, though.
But I don't care. If he wants to be a head coach, he's one of the winningest assistants in probably NFL history.
I know. I guess with the
and
point
he won 2 for you.
The point I'm trying to make is, if I'm Spags, like, the only interview I can get there is Arizona and then maybe Tennessee. Like, I'd like to get to one of the better jobs.
That's what I'm saying. The Giants.
He deserves to.
That's what I'm saying. The
Giants should be interested in him.
Because he'll fix that defense overnight, and you have a great offensive nucleus.
Yeah. Schefter just tweeted this out. Teams can't and won't fire their head coach specifically to hire coaching free agent John Harbaugh. It's explained below with Dan Stanzik. Listen, he had a video on it. I get that. The teams are going to say this. They want to make sure everybody knows that they're doing it the right way. It doesn't mean I believe that.
Because you still got to go through the process. You still got to hire. You still got to interview an African American.
How is it that they're going to hire a GM in 3 days?
They even got enough African Americans to, like, you might be. I remember Anthony Lynn was the token African American that you had to bring in so you can do the Rooney Rule. I don't know if they got enough. Like you have to double book. Like, sorry, I can't come to you. I got to go out to Arizona, man. And then I'm gonna go out to the Raiders first before I circle around for you.
Listen,
could you imagine Spagnuolo as a coach for the Giants, Antonio Pierce the defensive coordinator, and Mike McDaniels as the offensive coordinator?
I mean, it sounds like an ideal situation. It sounds like something that would be pretty good. I would not have a problem with that.
Because then you'd be prepping Antonio Pierce potentially to be the head coach in the future when Spags is like 70.
I mean, I'm not telling him he's the head coach coming in. I'm not telling him I'm prepping you to be the head coach down the line.
Why? The Raiders, the Patriots did it. Even put it in the lane.
Yeah, and then they yanked it out from under him in a year.
Of course.
Yeah. When Mike Vrabel became available, please.
Of course.
But the way the Patriots,
now we got 3 Mike Vrabels available.
No, I know why the Patriots did what they did.
Kevin Stefanski
doesn't make it right.
We got 3 Josh McDaniels. We got 3 Vrabels being available right now.
Big Will in Port St. Lucie, Florida, is up on ESPN
Port
New
St.
York.
Lucie, baby. Ain't that over there? That's over there. Is that on the Naples side?
That's on the other side.
The Naples side.
No.
The Tampa side.
No, it's on the Palm Beach side.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's where the Mets are. You remember we
hey,
were there.
Bart Scott, you ever thought about putting your name in for defensive coordinator for the Jets?
Not for the Jets, but I'm just saying. Yeah, bro. Like I put it like this: before I go to the upper room, I'll be a coach in the NFL. Oh, I forgot. Clint Kubiak is a big time guy too.
So you're leaving me?
No, I said before I go to the upper room.
Yeah, that's before you die. Like that's
I hope I got time.
Hopefully that's 40 years, but who's going to hire you at 60 or 75 or 65? Like you're in your prime right now, and I need your prime years. Big fella's had 4 different partners in the last 5 years. Help me out.
You and me both. We both been
speeding. The Jets fan base loves you.
Well, that seems like a good reason to hire him.
You hear that, Aaron Glenn? They love me. Make me an offer I can't refuse. I told you, Carly, I'll make you the head of PR.
No, thank you. I'll pass.
You don't want to handle all the player interviews?
Here's the thing. No, I don't want a real job. I don't want a real job. That's a job. I don't want any real jobs. I don't like sitting in meetings. I don't enjoy that at all.
I don't meet.
Like to everybody out there who has a real job and is listening to the show, and I say this to people who will, stop and talk about the show. I appreciate the fact that you listen to the show so I don't have to get a real job, so that I can get paid to do this. Because if you don't listen, then I don't have the job. Sometimes if you do listen, then I don't have the job.
I never realized how many cuts I got on my arm.
What do you mean?
Look at that.
You got a lot of cuts. Let me see. Don't have me looking at the monitor. Let me look at your arm. What did you do?
Sports. My shins are like a crime scene. Listen,
There's always one line every day that I'm never expecting to have been said. My shins are like a crime scene.
The skin on my shins are so thin and full with scar tissue. You know how boxers like get out there like he's a bleeder? Like, man, if you do this to my shin, it's gonna start bleeding.
Really?
Like the skin is it's so thin that the color's like, man, I ain't coming back. It's just pink. Like, you know what? I ain't coming back. I can't regenerate, man. Who you think you is? Deadpool?
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York, 800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN. Should the Giants be really concerned right now about losing out on John Harbaugh? That's next on ESPN New York.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Hey, sorry I missed you. Your call is very important to me. Just not as important as the New Jersey Lottery's Green Ball promotion being back on Pick 3 evening drawings. See, if the green ball's drawn, that's a free second chance to win? So, yeah, you get it. It's only through February 1st, though, so try me after then?
Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. For game odds and promotion details, visit njlottery.com/pick3.
Looking for the best meat and seafood at unbeatable prices? Get to Wild Fork Foods. They offer the widest selection of meats and seafoods you'll find anywhere. Everything is blast frozen to lock in flavor and nutrients. From beef and poultry to seafood, pork, and even exotic and game meats, you'll get the best value for your buck. Visit one of their 7 locations across Long Island and New Jersey, or order online for same-day delivery at wildforkfoods.com. Wild Fork Foods, your neighborhood's meat and seafood market.
Make cancer screening a part of your annual healthcare routine. New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, cervical, prostate, colorectal, breast, and more. Regular cancer screenings could save your life by detecting cancer at its earliest, most treatable stages. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
To the net. Score! The New York Islanders are back in action with a brand new theme night schedule you won't want to miss. Bring your friends out for the holidays and take home a custom holiday replica jersey or arrive early for special bobblehead giveaway nights for Matt Barzell and Bo Horvat. Barzell for Horvat. Score! Explore the full theme night schedule at NewYorkIslanders.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
in the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports. ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
This is an interesting little development. I'll tell you about that in 30 seconds. First up, though, game time brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. 7 o'clock, Rangers hosting the Sabres at Madison Square Garden. Coverage, 6:30, right here on ESPN New York. Also on the ice at 7, Devils are in Pittsburgh to play the Penguins. Islanders in Nashville to take on the Predators. 7:30, college football playoff semifinal begins with the Fiesta Bowl. It's Ole Miss taking on Miami. You can watch the game on ESPN, and you can listen on 1050 ESPN. We had Mark Kestisher on earlier. We had Ian Fitzsimmons on yesterday. They'll be with Kelly Stauffer tonight. You can hear it right here on 880 immediately following the Rangers tonight. Tullamore Dew is the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Okay, this from Giannis, who has said this about Milwaukee. Apparently, he told this to The Athletic. Quote, "My plan is to be here for the rest of my career. If they don't want me, I'm not the one in charge. I am an employee." End quote. I'm sorry, what?
Right, that's why you got Dame Dollar to come by. That's why you had the Knicks as on your list. Like, come on, man.
Translation.
I'm the only winner on the team. The rest of them are losers, either by choice or by birth.
Who's that? Who's the guy that they brought in from the Pacers? Like, that was supposed to keep him quiet?
The big guy. Why is
Miles
his name
Turner?
escaping? Miles Turner, thank you. His name was escaping me for a moment.
Like, come on, man. This is who you want to be. My back hurt from carrying all these bums every day.
800-919-3776. Do you read anything into that whatsoever? Nah, I do not.
No, nobody cares.
I do not. Do you think that affects any part of Giannis here before the trade deadline or before the offseason?
How many times have we heard coaches say, "I want to stay here for the rest of my career"?
Yeah.
Come on, man. We don't believe that. He don't believe that. And he don't expect us to believe that.
Joe in West Harrison is up on ESPN New York. Joe, what's going on?
Hey, gentlemen, Happy New Year to both of you. Hope all's well. I'm going to throw out something that's a reach, never happened. I don't know if it's ever happened before. So we all agree that Aaron Glenn was a great defensive coordinator, correct?
No, we wouldn't say he was great.
Well, he was good enough to come.
No, it wasn't so much about that. It was that they thought they thought that he had the traits to be a good head coach as a leader.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. And then we also agree that maybe part of the reason they won't fire him is 5 years, a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, again, take this tongue-in-cheek. Why not make him the defensive coordinator and assistant to the head coach? Bring in a proven guy. If you could get a Harbaugh, the top tier Stefanski, especially if you're going to draft a –
that's an amendment in your contract. That's voided. Like, I get to leave. You can't demote me and tell me that I have to be under somebody else. Once you're the head coach, that's the contract that you sign. A demotion means basically a firing. You got to pay me my money, and I'm out. Why would I stay here and be like emasculated in front of my team and lose all power and say, okay, has that ever happened? Now, it's been a head coach that moved up to the management. We saw that in Boston.
Yeah.
We never seen a coach get demoted and say, okay, I'm good with that.
Not that I can think of.
It's a void in the contract.
What head coach would ever do that? Doesn't matter who you are, you'd never do that. I mean, that's just dumb.
I don't even see that happening in corporate America.
I don't even want to waste the breath on it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Let's go to Griff.
I would like to cleanse the palate and talk to Griffin in Connecticut, of course. Griffin, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Hey guys, how are you? First off, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, brother. It's late, though, Griffin. It's January 8th. Like, we're a weekend. Come on now.
At what point do you stop saying Happy New Year?
It's 4 or 5 days in, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe next week. Maybe next week you call quits because I feel like a lot of these people haven't talked to you, so they want to get it in.
Thank you.
Next
Griff.
Next week is your full week. Your for a second week, call quits. It's your first week. Next week, it's your second week. Call quits.
All right, you're not setting the rules here, okay?
That makes so much. That makes so
I'm
much
not
sense.
trying
That makes so much sense because Chris, you was out having fun all last week.
There
while
was
I was
not
here
any-
manning the captain's log.
Yeah, there was nobody out there
with
saying,
Jake
you know what?
Assman.
I can't wait to get back so I can wish Carlin a happy New Year.
Yeah,
can't wait for Carlin to be back.
Jake Assman.
Let me get to my point. Bart, I'm wondering what you think in Wild Card Weekend. What team could be on upset alert? What upset could happen this weekend on Wild Card Weekend?
The Rams.
I'm wondering what you think.
The Rams, because whenever you can run the ball and they beat you before, they're going to be emboldened.
Yeah,
Usually
but
rematches
don't.
An
upset.
Yeah,
it's a 10.5 point favorite.
Hold on. The Panthers are the worst team. Like, the Panthers are the worst team in the playoffs.
They're under 500.
Yeah, they're under 500. You don't think that'd be an upset if they lose to 12?
10.5 point favorites, Griffin. The Rams are on the road.
That would be.
That means if it's a neutral site game, they're 2 touchdown favorites.
Yeah, Griff. That would be.
Yeah.
One.
I wouldn't consider that an upset.
That if a 2 touchdown favorite loses, that's not an upset.
Oh yes.
That's what we're saying.
Yes, if the Panthers beat the Rams, then yes.
That's what Bart was saying.
That's what I said.
Oh. You think the Panthers could upset the Rams?
They beat them already. Whenever you can run the ball, weird stuff happens. Like, because if you get a turnover or two, playoff games have been weird. Like, when we went out there as a team that won 9 games and we went out to San Diego after the second win, after we beat the Bengals, like, nobody expected that offense to be held to 17 points. So, yeah, but also I'll give you another one. I would give Jacksonville beating the Bills. I think people still think the Bills are the favorite because they believe in Josh Allen. I don't think they believe that Trevor Lawrence is taking that next step.
It's not a big favorite, but the Bills are 1.5 favorites.
Yeah.
Here's the point, though. Griffin just came on, asked you for an upset.
I gave him the biggest.
You gave him the biggest
possible
underdog
upset
of the weekend, said that's not an upset, and thought you were picking the Rams. And then, the Panthers beating the Rams, that would be an upset. Meanwhile, the rest of the games this weekend are like less than 5 points, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think they all are less than 5 points. I just want to take a quick look here. I believe the largest spread other than that is the 49ers are 4.5 point dogs to the Eagles, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. Panthers 10.5, Bears 1.5, Buffalo 1.5. Eagles are now 5.5 point favorites.
Isn't it fascinating that we get to see McCaffrey versus kind of like Saquon head-to-head?
Can we talk about McCaffrey for a second?
Yeah.
How is McCaffrey not talked about more for Offensive Player of the Year? You look at who the actual favorite
MVP
is, right? Jackson Smith-Njigba is the favorite for Offensive Player of the Year. 10 touchdowns, 1,700 yards. McCaffrey's got over 2,000 yards and over 20 touchdowns combined.
Yeah, but the reason is because his rush yards isn't that high.
It's 1,200. It's not 500. His rush yards are pretty good. It's not terrible.
Did he get 1,000 receiving? But
I believe he finished just short.
You got guys like Derrick Henry, guys like Cook over 1,600. They 400 yards ahead of him.
I understand that, but then he's got all the receiving yards too.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
You know, I mean, James Cook does not have those kind of receiving yards, I don't believe.
Njigba probably, I think because Njigba is that the third most receiving yards in history?
Yeah, I mentioned the 20 touchdowns he's got.
I'm talking about Njigba.
Njigba's got 1,793 and 10 touchdowns and 119 catches. He's not even going to lead the league in catches. He's going to finish like 4th.
Yeah, because Puka really is more
Jamar
impressive.
Chase, and Trey McBride.
But Puka missed like 2 games. That's what makes Puka stuff crazy.
Puka missed. He only missed 1, believe it or not. But he missed time in that second game.
Yeah.
But, I'm sorry. I don't understand why you wouldn't talk more about McCaffrey being Offensive Player of the Year when he's got all of those numbers. What does Cook have in terms of receiving? Let me just look.
I think 1,600.
He had 1,600 yards rushing. He had 290 yards receiving. Yeah. Listen, he averaged 5.2 a carry. McCaffrey was over 1,200 yards rushing and just shy of 1,000 receiving. I'm sorry. And
you know how they treat running backs. Treat them like animals.
They do, but McCaffrey keeps getting it done. That'll do it for us. Michael Kay, you're familiar with his work because he's the best. And he is next, coming up with his show on ESPN New York. You do not want to miss that. Don Hahn and Rosenberg later on this afternoon as well. It is all right ahead for you. You're welcome. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
You're welcome.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns,